Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Ade, the veteran arcade soldier, and we're back with another live chat show. It's a new thing on the channel, but it's been very successful so far, very interesting and intriguing for all of us footy fans, and amazing to see plenty of people already in the chat. Do forgive the little buzz in the background. That would be my son, who is desecrating some meat in the oven. But it is what it is. So, let's go through some of the people in the chat already. All good. Absolutely amazing. Arthur, thank you for the message earlier on, my bro. We're nearly at that 250 subscriber mark. So, of course, everybody, when you enter the building, you know what to do. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if it's your first time here. So Arthur says, just 2 to go into the big 250, like and subscribe. That's what we like to see. But enough of all that begging and nonsense. Let's get that out of the way and go through some of the messages. Please feel free to say how you're doing this evening, how your day's been going, and I'm going to go through some of the messages. So FCB, the main man, the Potter himself, says, hi, thanks for the reply earlier, and says, FCB says, and can we do first topic, Eddie Howe leaving Newcastle? Well, funnily enough, FCB, great minds think alike, because the first topic, as you can see in the corner, is Newcastle United, Eddie Howe quits. Is the Saudi dream over? So we're going to tackle that in a bit, but we won't start just yet. Let me just go through the messages and say hello to everyone. Jay is back in the building. Jay, thank you for your messages earlier. And Jay, it's that day. Happy birthday, my bro. 17 today, right? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day, my bro. Please confirm or deny. Jay says, Addy, nice to see you. You too, my brother. And can't wait to chat. Well, here we go. We're going to get into it. Right. FCB says, what does the chat think? Well, we're going to get into that topic regardless. All good, all good. Arthur is there with the hello, lads and ladies. And Arthur says, 250. What? We hit it already? Let me double check. I need to see for myself what's going on. And yes, amazing stuff. Hit the 250 subscribers. What a landmark achievement. What can I say? Thank you so much to everybody that smashed that button, supporting your boy on his journey. Fantastic. Thank you one and all. Amazing. All right, Jay says, Arthur, you're back. Nice to see. Gary's back in the building. Hello, Gary. A little bit of camaraderie here. FCB says, or Everton, because David Moyes is linked to the Scotland job. I didn't even know that, mate. I missed that one today, but we can tackle that later, no doubt. Arthur says, David Moyes with his thick Scottish accent. It is a mad one. And his creased up face. Anyone should tell that boy to get an iron on there, because those creases on the forehead are crazy. Right. Maxie Hazel. Oh, Maxie Hazel. I know a special lady when I see her. How are you doing, Maxine? Please let me know. Just so everyone knows, this is one of my youngest little cousins in the chat. Hello, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a little while. Naughty, big, kind of older cousin, stroke uncle. How are you, Maxine? Love to you. Humble says, yo, I'm early. What's goody? You know what to do, boys. Nice one, Humble. My guy. Arthur says, oi, that's my thing. Sorry, my bro. You're at 250. Thank you, Arthur. Couldn't have done it without you, my legend. 100%. Craig Dixon. Another one of my cousins in the chat. How you doing, my bro? My biggest cousin of all sends her love. Thank you, Craig. How you doing, my man? Looks like a family alert went out today. Hope you're doing well down there on the Sussex coast, my bro. Miss Lauren says, evening, Ade and peeps. Hello, Miss Lauren. Hope you are well. And Miss Lauren says, whoop, 250. Congrats. Let's go. And the Kaylee Dixon. As you can see, it's a Dixon takeover. I've got Dixon family running through the blood, and they've all come to support me on the journey. Absolutely amazing. So yes, how are you doing, Kaylee? Hope you are well. My cuz. Natasha says, hi there, how's tricks? Hello, Natasha. I'm very good, thank you. Natasha, one of the original members of the channel. Couldn't have done it without you, Natasha. And as you may have seen, we have hit the 250 subscriber mark, which is absolutely epic. And couldn't do it without you, Natasha. I'm very good, thank you. How are you doing on the new Key Coast down in Dorset? Please let me know, Natasha. I'm doing very well. Maxie, what are you doing there, young lady? Deleting your messages. Big cuz will come and find you. And Maxi, have you still got that doll I got you those couple of years ago? That funny, fluffy, hairy thing, that blue thing? Maxi, I hope you still got it. Right, Jay predicts, Ade, congrats on the 250. Thank you, my bro, and welcome to part of the journey, my bro. Can't do it without people. You can't actually saying that. I did start the YouTube channel, literally talking to myself at the camera. My 2 sons were in the background thinking, what is this fool doing? But here we are, and now I'm talking to you guys. Absolutely amazing. Got to stay humble, of course, as the main man, humble dude bro, will tell you earlier. Jay says, everyone hit the like and sub. Let's get added to 300. Let's go. Camille, one of my original veterans. Just in 43 days, we got 168 subs. Wow, absolutely incredible, Camille. And we have enjoyed some amazing live stream watch-alongs and chats along the way. Maxi says, I do still have it and I don't get rid of anything. Maxi, don't be a hoarder, and I hope you're behaving yourself for your mum. I'm going to come and find you soon. 100%. But anyway, hopefully you are well. I need to see an update picture to see how big and beautiful you're getting. Love to your sisters and your mum, who never gets back to me on the WhatsApp. Do go remind Vicky and Dixon. She is a scallywag. Go tell her her big cuz said so. Right. Yo, man, like Jonathan in the building. Big JW. How you doing, Jay? I hope you're well, my bro. Lovely catching up with you earlier. Camille says, my first comment, you missed mine, a debate. Oh, let me see, Camille. Sorry, my man. It's all the excitement of all of my head blowing up due to the 250 subscribers. Where is it, Camille? Let me see. Oh, right, mine, Manchester United is best. Ah, this guy trying to get me with a Man United prophecy. Get out of here. And Kaylee says, it's my 21st today. Yeah, all right, Kaylee. I know how old you are. Let's just keep it real. And Kaylee, if you were 21, then you should be in prison because you've got no business having kids and still being 21. How about that? Right, anyway, Jay says, oh no, I read that one. Starlet Dixie in the building. Starlet, how are you doing? Like I said, it's a takeover. I've got family in the building and it's such a pleasure that you guys can see me and I need to come and see you soon. How are you doing, Starlet? Hope you're well. I saw your picture today. You're looking as beautiful as ever. I can barely recognise you. You're always beautiful anyway. And you look even more amazing. I just need to see Sirocco now. And Kelly says, oi you know. I'm very good, Starlet. I'm very good. I'm going to be on my way down soon to visit you all 100%. Family in the building. Exactly. Arthur's laughing. It's an Ade family reunion. And no doubt the family pushed me over the 250 subscribers. Amazing. So obviously I had to do a bit of family begging. But it's all good. We would have got there anyway. But at least, you know, special people, blood in the family got me over the line. That's what we like. But yes, all good, Starlet. I hope you are well. And I heard you got a boyfriend, Starlet. We're going to have words about that. And if he misbehaves, I'm coming for him. Just saying. Thomas, welcome back to the channel, Thomas. My guy. Well done, Liverpool. Thank you, my man. It's looking like it's all good. Bradley Barcona will be joining the Reds soon. It looks like. Duckington, sorry, I missed your message. Your bro's already in the building. How is the Duckington today? Hope you're well, my brother. Right, let me see. Jay says, Ade, I'll be there for all 3 tomorrow. Amazing, my bro. Yep, we're starting the live stream tomorrow with the big clash down under, 9:45. We're going live. Spurs versus Chelsea. It's going to be an absolute banger. Did I miss anything? FCB here right now? He was my man. He was here just a few minutes ago. Did I miss anything? Please, anyone, pull me up if I miss a message. I try to read out every single comment. Starlet says he is sat next to me. Love that lad. Line months to next month on the 23rd. Fair enough. Well, he's next to you. Let me know his name. But just let him know I will definitely beat his if he doesn't and all of that. You know. But anyway, welcome to him. Vicky Dixon as well. OMG. Oi, I'm here. You are a letdown, girl. I'm still waiting for my WhatsApp reply from 4 years ago. How about that? VAD. Absolute disgrace. But, of course, love as always. Yeah, exactly. You do that. I just see that. You do that. Anyway, love to the girls. Let me know how they're all doing. Obviously, I've seen the main girl, Maxi, in the chat. Hope the other 2 are well. That's a nice name, Harley. Nice to meet you, brother. Look after the girl. 100. Natasha says, Liverpool also linked to Rayan. That is right, Natasha. That is what it's all about. But let's get Barcola over the line. To be honest with you, Natasha, I don't see Liverpool splashing out 120, 140 in an overall deal to get Barcola over the line and then going in all full steam ahead for Rayan. But hey, let's hope, because LFC, the boys from the COP, need their help. Yeah, what's happening, Harley? Nice to meet you, my bro. Harley, are you a Brighton fan? Do you even support football? Do you watch football, follow football? You're obviously down there on the coast with the family. Please let me know, my bro. And 100% look after Starlet and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel first, but look after Starlet secondary. How about that? Right. Camille says, Arthur, bro, Man United best, am I right? Camille, hold that. Natasha says, Bruno G to Arsenal. It's looking like it's going to go ahead. We might talk about that in a little bit. Vicky and Dixon laughing. All right, Arthur says, love going to Brighton. Go there all the time. Arthur, that is where my mum originates from. My mum passed away a few years ago, but it's not about the violins and all that. It's just about, and funny enough, my cousin, that's in the chat now. We spread the ashes down where my mum originated from. And what a wonderful day it was. A lovely story. Me and my cousin Vicky, who's in the chat, we were spreading the ashes in the cemetery. The wind blew and blew my mum's ashes straight back in our faces. We were cracking up. What a great day that was. So yeah, let's get some love in the chat. Brap. Harley said, yeah, love football. Big Liverpool fan. No way. My guy. We will do. Starlet, let's reverse it. You need to look after Harley. He's a red, and that's what I'm talking about. This man clearly knows football, unlike Auntie Rona, who, you know, obviously loves the Seagulls, but hasn't got a clue. Right. Harley says, yeah, love, big Liverpool fan, and though I'll always treat her right, and also a big Brighton fan. Fair enough, my bro. You got to support the Seagulls. But obviously, when Brighton play Liverpool, you know what to do. Natasha says, looks like Newcastle owners are ready to sell up. Natasha, well, that's going to bring us on to our first talking point. And that's going to be part of the way I kind of want to start the narrative, because ultimately, that is a big part of it. So, Natasha, thank you for that. We're going to lead on to the comments soon. Oliver Bright in the building. Oliver, welcome to the channel. A new person. Oliver, introduce yourself. Where are you from? Who do you support? And yeah, take over the floor. Let us know who you are, my bro. Jay says, have you been to Portsmouth, Ade? I have not. I've been to Southampton before. I've never been as far as Portsmouth, though. But it looks like a lovely place from what I'm hearing. But please, do let me know. But one day I will get there and hopefully get to a match down there. Fratton Park, I believe. Thomas says, Crystal Palace are winning in a friendly. Let us know who they're playing. Arthur says, yes, Man United are better than Liverpool. Arthur, you're a fool. Starlet Dixie says, it's only me and Harley that support Liverpool. Starlet, my legend girl, keep it up. Arthur says, I go to the Worthing Pier all the time and a chippy nearby. Arthur, you're such a cultured man for someone who's still not a man. But I hear you, my bro. Right. Kaylee Dixon says, if I could send you a picture of mum's face right now. Amazing. Hold that, RD. Hey, Macy, how you doing, my bro? Let's do the conversion there. Yes, I am good, boss. Macy, how are you, my bro? And Macy, my friend from Poland, AC Milan, bad news today. We're going to cover that, sadly, in, I think, topic 2 or 3. The legend, Franco Baresi, one of the greatest footballers of all time, died. 66 years of age, but it is what it is. But we're going to talk about that, Macy. Let us know how you are. All right, Jonathan says, there's a rumour that we're in contact with Tomori. Jonathan, there is. And obviously, Jonathan, with our heritage there, the Nigerian element, we know that Fikayo Tomori is of Nigerian origin. But of course, he is English, played over in Italy, Serie A, for the last 6 seasons. And Jonathan, I think he would be an excellent signing for Liverpool. He's not amazing enough for first team, but he's good enough to be a 3rd, 4th rotational player. So thank you for bringing that up, my bro. And I'd be interested in seeing Fikayo come into the chat. I'd love him in the chat, but I'd love to see him come into the club, because ultimately he would provide squad depth. He's English and he fills out, you know, the English quota as well. So let's go. Jonathan, thank you for that. Starlet says, who's your favourite Liverpool player out of old and new? Funnily enough, we did this the other day, and I had to tell the chat, Virgil van Dijk from the latest, because I love him. He's an absolute GOAT. But in the past, Steve Nicol. You'd have to look him up, Starlet. He played about 30 years before you was even born. But Steve Nicol, an amazing right back. You'll have to go check him out. Jay says, Swansea released a home shirt yesterday. You should look it up. I will do at some point, my bro. And you're not a fan. I know what you mean. I know you're a fan, my bro. I know you're a fan. Arthur says, should have been called up. What's that? Tomori for the World Cup. He's had some decent seasons. You're right. Thomas says, Chelsea have signed Lacroix from Crystal Palace. They have, my man, a player I wanted Liverpool to get. Macy says, you're good. I'm glad to hear it, my bro. Arthur says, Mr. Slip and Slide, I thought. Yeah, Steven Gerrard. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Stevie G, Starlet is true. Stevie G, Virgil van Dijk, Steve Nicol. Arthur's got me there. He's caught me in a porky pie, but it is what it is. Harley says, my favourite oldie is Steven Gerrard. And now same Van Dijk. I hear that, my bro. That's the thing. It's mad. Harley, you're obviously a youngster, but you're calling Steven Gerrard an oldie. But to me, I'm basically the same age as Steven Gerrard. It's wild. But yeah, there you go. My favourite is Steven Gerrard, same as Harley. Starlet says, lovely to hear. FCB says, sorry, I had audio issues. No problem. Right. Jay says, and now we're getting to the bottom of the messages, and then we're going to start into the debates. So Jay says, do you think Chelsea will do better with Henderson? Well, that's going to be one of the questions coming up, Jay. So we'll hold fire on that. I think he'll improve the squad, but we'll hold fire on that. Thomas says, I cannot wait until tomorrow. You cannot wait to see your boys, Chelsea FC, get into it with Spurs. It's going to be a banger. I think that could be the best pre-season friendly of the summer. Honestly, I really do believe so. Right. Let's get the timer up, and I'm going to read out the question, give you a bit of backstory, and then we are going to go from there. Right. Let's get the clock up. I'll read out this last one quickly before we start. Maxi Hazel says, I have to go because my phone is going to die. No problem, Maxi. Love to you, my dear. And I hope to come and see you very soon. Well, I definitely will. But make sure, Maxi, before your phone dies, you hit that smash, that like button and subscribe so you know when Big Cuz is online and you support him. How about that? And do your homework. Right. FCB says, Stoke City versus Valencia. Hold up. We'll come on to it, bro. Right. We're going to start the timer and get it going. So, the first topic has started. I've probably done it the wrong way around. I should have got a 15-minute countdown. So actually, let me just fix that up. Because, yeah, that's gone a bit wayward. Where is it? So, I need countdown. Perfect. Countdown. So, that's going to be 15. Reset. Start countdown. Right. Started the countdown timer. 15 minutes on the topic. So, topic 1. Newcastle United. Eddie Howe, the manager, has quit. So, basically, is the Saudi dream over? So, a little bit of the backstory. He's obviously upset. They've lost player after player after the last summer and last season. Losing Isak to Liverpool for big money. They've lost Anthony Gordon to Barcelona. Who else have they lost, chat? They're about to lose Bruno G to Arsenal. They've also lost somebody else that slips my mind. But hey, it is what it is. So basically, is the dream over? With Newcastle, they cannot get successive Champions League finishes in the Premier League. So basically what I'm saying is, they finish in the top 4 or 5, they get Champions League, they get the money in, but then next season, they drop out of the Champions League positions, finishing 8th, 9th, 10th, etc. And then they have to sell players, Elliot Anderson to Forest, for example. And now, obviously, the players I've just mentioned. So, Newcastle are in a bit of a spiral where they can't progress, but they're not dropping out of it. And then they kind of start going back up again. Now, the Saudi owners, Newcastle United, the PIF fund, Saudi, they have more money than every other football club combined in the world. So, Newcastle are richer than every other football team if you added up all their finances together. But because of PSR rules, squad cost ratio rules that have been brought in, they can't get the money into the club. So, is the dream over? What are your thoughts on Eddie Howe and the Newcastle situation? Over to you. Right. FCB says, thanks for the reply in the short. You're welcome. Thomas says, Chelsea are not allowed to sign or get rid of more players. We're going to talk about that, Thomas. Don't worry. Update, Birmingham 1, Barcelona 1. Cheers, Jay. And Trippier went to Wolves. Oh, that's another one. Cheers, Jay. Exactly, Trippier. So they're losing more and more top players out of the squad. So, What are our thoughts on Newcastle? And do we think it's game over? Will they sell up? Like Natasha was mentioning in the chat. Are the Saudi owners going to have to pull the plug on the deal? What are our thoughts on Newcastle United? Please let me know. As I take a breath, because motor mouth is motor mouthing. Jay says, I think the dream is still alive. Fair enough. Do explain why though, my man, because they're losing players hand over fist. Even if you look at next season, imagine they went from having probably the best midfield in the league with Guimaraes, Tonali and Joe Linton. Now 2 of them are gone. And apparently rumours, Joe Linton wants to get out. And now the other rumour is Lewis Hall, probably, if not the best English left back in the league, is now thinking about moving. And Man United are looking to jump in and snare him. So I'm not sure the dream is still alive personally. But anyone else, please feel free to let me know. Jay said, FCB says, and it was out of nowhere. I was having my breakfast when it came through as he got a new job, England, Everton or Man United. Really good point there with Eddie Howe. It's obviously still part of the same topic. I wouldn't mind Eddie Howe taking over England, to be honest. I think he's a cracking young manager. Obviously, he's still got a lot of experience because he started a long time. But hopefully, I'll take him as an England manager. But maybe just wants a little break. He's been in football for a long time now. Bournemouth, straight into Newcastle, etc. Gary, welcome back to the channel, my man. Gary says the dream is done for the Geordies. It'll be amazing if we can get some Geordies in the chat. Let's see if anyone comes online. Thomas says, Mudryk for Chelsea is back. Yes, that may be something that we can talk about in a little bit. But everyone, the topic is Newcastle United and Eddie Howe. Let's try and stay on topic and not move away from too much, because otherwise it gets too confusing. The whole idea of the show is to basically have topic-based debate and, you know, run our gums about it. And then once the minutes are up, we'll move on to the next subject. So, anybody else on Eddie Howe, feel free to say. Now, obviously, tomorrow when we're doing the live stream and the watch-along, we can obviously chat about certain things there and bring up random stuff. But when it's the talk show, I'd rather keep it all controlled, all nice, because I'm a dictator. No, but seriously, we like to keep things in order and run into a theme, and that is the idea with live football chat with V.A.S. Macy says, for me, what's that, Macy? For me, it is horses, bad goalkeeper. What is that? What is that? I'll have to do a translation, my bro. FCB says, we will go for a 4-4-2 with 2 strikers versus Valencia. Rangers are 0-0 at the moment with Dundee United. Cheers for the update. But guys, let's stick to the topic. What else are we saying about Newcastle? Has anyone got any thoughts on it? If not, then we can always move on to the next topic. But I thought it was an interesting one to get started with. All good. So, Macy, so you're saying for you it's a must-have? What's that? The dream at Newcastle staying alive? Let me know, my bro. Not sure. Jay says they're losing players, but they can still sign the matters of Jared. They can still sign the likes of Jared Bowen. Could be a good player. Do you know what? Not a bad shout. That's the kind of player I thought would have gone to Newcastle at some point in his career. They love a try-hard over there, and we know Jared Bowen is a try-hard. I'll take him at Liverpool, to be fair. Macy says, let me convert that, my bro. FCB says, boring club in my opinion. What, Newcastle? You're not having them, mate. Thomas says, Bruno Guimaraes is moving to Arsenal. Yes, exactly, another one. So that is obviously gonna weaken them, which is a crazy idea. I would have thought, oh, Macy says the club is collapsing, Newcastle. Honestly, I kind of think you're right. I feel like the Saudi dream is over, or they're really gonna have to take a real back step and build it up ever so slowly, much more organically, because to get money into football clubs is not easy at all. Jay says Benjamin Sesko could be good, and Igor Thiago. What, this coming season? I hear that, my bro. And yes, Macy, you meant a little bit crumbling. I know what you meant, my bro. Don't worry, I know what you meant. Right, we've still got 8 minutes on this topic, and yeah, honestly, I'm actually just so chuffed to see some of my family members in the chat. It means a lot. Absolutely amazing. And that makes me feel guilty for not going down to the Sussex coast. But that's just rejuvenating my spirits, and I will get down there ASAP. But absolutely amazing to see all the little cousins running around like little Dixon rats in the background of my YouTube channel. I take it back. I'm only joking, but all good, all good. Thomas says, where is Eddie Howe going to go? Which team's next? Well, this is it, Thomas. This is what we were saying. That's what Jay was saying. Maybe a Man United, maybe an Everton at a certain point. If Carrick doesn't do well, Eddie Howe would definitely be an option for England. I think it was maybe it was FCB that mentioned that about Eddie Howe for England. But yeah, Thomas, I think Eddie Howe would definitely be a great contender for the England job. Don't forget, everyone, to smash that like button, please. The channel needs the support. It's not only just subscribers. It's all about getting the likes up, because that's what helps with the whole YouTube algorithm. So yes, don't forget to smash the like button. Right. Next comment in the chat. 1 second. Jay says, João Neves could be possible, but doubt it. For who, my man? What, João Neves, that's playing out in... who for, Jay? Who you thinking? João Neves from PSG? Who's he going to go to? Thomas says, for Manchester United, he will be great. Eddie Howe? He could be, my man. Yeah, he could be. I'm personally a little bit sceptic of how well Man United do. I think it's a bit of a 50-50 with Man United. But we shall see. FCB says, I missed his comment. Let me see. Boring club. No, not that one. Right. FCB says, because they just exist in the Premier League, in my opinion. I hear what you're saying, but to be fair, they did turn over Liverpool a couple of seasons back to win that Carabao Cup. So they did get a trophy, but obviously they want to try and push on to the next level. And obviously, in a way, maybe FCB football is a little bit lucky that the rules have changed. Because could you imagine if the Saudi owners actually could pump in the money they wanted to? Like Newcastle could literally become unstoppable in about 5 to 10 years if they got the money into the club. But yes, PSG to Newcastle, but it's not possible in my view. I hear you, Jay. I hear you. Probably not at this point, my guy. Raymond, the main man, is back. How you doing, Raymond? I said, hi, Ade Azalu. Should sign. Hi, Abdi. He plays in La Liga. Yes. Zazalu should sign for €7.5 million move deal for Newcastle United right now. Yes, from Ray. I hear you, Ray. Raymond from Slavonga, right? Please remind me in the chat. I'm pretty sure I'm on it. From Zambia, right, Raymond? How are you doing, my bro? And you're a Newcastle fan, so yeah, lovely to have you in the chat. How do you feel, though, Raymond? Do you feel that the Saudi dream is over with Newcastle? You're a Newcastle follower, right? So please let us know, Raymond, because you are the perfect person to ask. And Raymond, don't forget to smash that like button. And please remind me if I got your country correct and your city, my bro. Thomas says, who is Crystal Palace signing as their next player? Absolutely no idea, my bro. You need to ask Jessica, your girlfriend, because she will know. Jay says, hit the likes, people. Thank you, Jay. FCB says, I want to go to St. James's Park on an away day one day. Most definitely. Funnily enough, I used to walk around the stadium as a little kid, because when I was younger, I used to go to Newcastle almost, during the summer holidays when I was a little kid. Because my older brother married a Geordie girl back in the day. So I walked around the stadium, but I never went in. But one of these days, I will do the FCB 100%. Raymond, let me know if I was spot on, my bro, and your opinions. We've got a few minutes left on the Eddie Howe topic and Newcastle, so feel free to do it. And then in that case, I'll put up a poll. We can have a vote and see what everyone thinks of that. So, Newcastle is the Saudi dream over. Right. I'll put a poll in the chat. Feel free to vote. We've got a few minutes. Jay says, great atmosphere as well. You can see on TV, isn't it? It's very, very antagonistic up there. And, it's not the kind of place you want to be 1-0 down. Do you know what I'm saying? Hey, Ridge Racer, my guy, my Albanian brother from Enfield. How you doing, my bro? Hope you're well. Let us know. We're talking about Newcastle at the moment. We've got a poll in the chat. Eddie Howe, he's left. Is the dream over? Ridge Racer, get your vote in and let us know how you're doing today, my bro. And more importantly, make sure you smash that like button, my bro. Right, let's get that back on there. I want to do Wolves away this season. Amazing. It's good. That'll be a top game as well. That'll be a good clash. Stoke City versus the Wolves. But yeah, great shout, my bro. Ridge Racer says, my guy, how you doing, my bro? Please let me know. What are the votes saying, people? We've got a few minutes left on this subject. I'm just going to put my own... actually, it's one of the things. I can't actually vote myself, but it is what it is. But feel free to have a vote. And, you know, it makes it all interesting to see, you know, what kind of topics are engaging and interest people, etc. So, yeah, all good, all good. Right, back to the chat. Next topic, Stoke v Valencia, FCB says. We can do a bit of championship chat. We will do that, no problem. Jay says, Marco Silva will be a good manager for Newcastle, or have they already got a new manager? They have. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Newcastle, they do. Who they have, Jay? They've got the manager from Al Ahly, who's won the basically the Champions League in Asia 2 years in a row. So that is the new Newcastle manager. He's taken over. And Jay, Marco Silva just taken over at Benfica. And Fulham is another topic I'll be coming on later. That is a big, big debate. So we're going to be doing that one after FCB, which is going to be Stoke versus Valencia. Right, Ridge Race says, enjoying the Friday, bro. Knocking them back. I hear you, my bro. Have one for me, my G. Have one for me. FCB says, please. Right, so we're going to wrap up. We're going to wrap up the poll. And, yeah, we're going to wrap up the poll and see what it comes to. Right, in the meantime, let me get... Right, let's type this in. So we're going to make this double-edged. We're going to make this one double-edged. This is for you. All right, let me start the timer. Bloody hell. Working me silly, FCB. Right, so just to see the answer. So is the Saudi dream over? Yes, 71%. No, 29%. Matthias Jazel is there, new man in charge. Exactly, Jay. That's who I was talking about. Pull up some stats about the game. I'll tell you what. Why don't you do that in the background, then post them in the chat while I just introduce the topic? Right. So I'm going to make it a little bit of double-edged sword. So tomorrow night, FCB, his beloved Stoke City, are taking on Valencia in a pre-season friendly. So it's an excellent friendly for Stoke City. They've just taken out Everton in the previous match. I can't remember the score. Was it 1-0 FCB? Let me know. And Valencia, obviously, big La Liga team. Not the greatest in recent seasons, but ultimately a big scalp if Stoke City can pull them down. So my question is, what do we think about Stoke's chances in the Championship next season? Are they a team that can potentially threaten the top 8 positions? Because I'm pretty sure that the playoffs have been extended. Is it top 8 now, FCB? Let me know. And who else are we thinking are dark horses or runners and riders in the Championship tussle to go up promoted? But let's talk about the Stoke City Valencia game as well. How do we think they're going to get on? FCB, over to you. You're the expert. Right, I'll read out some of the messages. Starlet says, do you collect football cards? I don't. Starlet, did you mean like, what's it called? Like match attacks cards? Or are you talking about more like the trading cards? Like, or obviously not Pokemon cards, but the more high value football cards. Is that what you're talking about? But no, I don't. I heard that some of them are worth crazy money, Starlet. But remember, I've seen your bedroom sometimes. So if you've got any of these cards, I hope you're looking after them. But yes, let me know. And are you collecting these days? Or is Harley collecting? Let me know. Jay says, Stoke are going to lose to Swansea. 82% for sure. Jay, introduce yourself to FCB. He's a big Stoke fan. So there you go. Macy says, let's have a look there. I'll have to look at that. FCB says, we come into this with a win on Tuesday and we have spent £10 million overall. Whoever you bought for your team, FCB, let us know. To be fair, we have to open up the channel to all sorts of leagues and chat, because at the end of the day, this channel is a football channel and it isn't always about the biggest and whatever, the so-called bright lights. Macy, lovely to see you, my bro. Enjoy your rest. Take care. Hopefully see you tomorrow, my man. We're doing some watch-alongs, Macy. Come into the chat. We can talk. And maybe we can talk about Baresi as well, because we're going to miss that topic, sadly. Unless you could hold on, Macy, for 15 more minutes. We're going to talk about Franco Baresi. But otherwise, I will speak to you tomorrow, my friend, when we're doing the watch-alongs. Hopefully I'll see you then. Macy, take care. And don't forget to hit the like button, Macy. FCB says all right. So Lefty, yes, Lefty, how you doing, my Chelsea brother? We're doing a watch along tomorrow with the Chelsea game. Hopefully we're gonna see you there, my G. Duxton says E for everyone. Ridge Race says Baresi, man, I was always the biggest fan of Italian players. I hear you, Ridge Racer. We're gonna talk about him shortly. Arthur says, all right, Ade. What's that little? I know that tone, Arthur. Jay says, what time are you doing your first watch along tomorrow? 9:45, my bro. Arthur said, all right, Ade. Ducton says, is FCB still there? He is. I thought, well, he should be. He should be off collecting stats. Or he's letting me know who Stoke has spent 10 million on. But Duckington, you will know as well. Let me know. Hello, Charlie. I know you are there. Right. Ethan Galbert, Luke Graham, and Deji Sumari, and a goalkeeper. So basically, FCB, they bought 4 players for 10 mil. That's not bad going. Any of them special? I think you was telling me, FCB, about this Ethan Galbert. I think, was he a young attacking midfielder, was it? I think so. Please let me know. Arthur says, throw on FC. Mate, FCB, that's the thing. Tell me this, though. With Stoke, has things changed? Obviously, Pulis is long gone. It's been, how long since Toli Pulis has gone? 6, 7 years now since he's been gone? Obviously, I would imagine things have changed. Have you had good football in the meantime? Is there a better style of play with the manager? You have to remind me who the manager is, because I can't keep up with every single team. Duxton says, what's so funny? Look at the comment above. He said, Arthur, throw on FC. Talking about the Rory Delap days, Duckington. Rory Delap, the big one. Kaylee says, Gerrard. What, you've got a Gerrard trading card? Is that what you're saying? FCB says, no, we've been awful for 10 years. Damn, so basically, FCB, the football hasn't improved in 10 years. It's still haram football. Jeez, bad news, my bro. Who's the manager there these days at Stoke City? It's your platform, your time to talk about it. Let's go. And who's the star player? Let me know. Jay says, I'm disappointed Swansea let go of Ethan Galbraith. Oh, I see. So Ethan Galbraith went to Stoke. Right, I got ya. Kaylee says, do you know Steven Gerrard? Well, I know of him, obviously. Actually, Kaylee, I've got some videos on my channel, and I've got one I need to do about my trip to Amsterdam. Well, look, obviously there's kids in the building, but what happens in Amsterdam stays in Amsterdam. But I was there as a younger man, and I did go there to watch for football purposes, obviously. What else would I go to Amsterdam for? But anyway, as I was coming back on the final day, I was at the airport, and guys, all the players walked past me. Steven Gerrard, young Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen. And when Michael Owen went past, I couldn't resist it. And I said, Michael, I stepped in front of him and said, put it there, mate, and shook his hand. There's a better part to the story, but I'm going to drop it in a video, and you lot can watch that one day. Right. Jay says he's delighted. Mark Robbins, that's right. You told me the other day, mate. Mark Robbins, that footballing legend. Kaylee, of course I know Steven Gerrard. What's wrong with you? Right. Jay says 25% Stoke will win, 25% draw. Fair enough. Ade says, Arthur says, Ade got a new boyfriend in Amsterdam. And so what if I float like that? Ta. Anyway, let's move. FCB says Sorba Thomas is the star player. What position does he play, Sorba? Is he a striker? Please let me know. I need the championship education. And if there's a top game with Stoke City, which ones would you recommend I cover, FCB? Let me know. Maybe, do you think it will be like a Stoke versus West Ham? Or is there, what's the main rival? Oh, Blackburn. Is it Blackburn for you guys? Let me know. Duckerton says, isn't she lovely? Patrick Ferry. I've lost it. Oh, that's another one of the top players, right? Let me know the positions, guys. Thomas says, Crystal Palace want to sign 3 defenders. They're going to need 2, Thomas, after losing a player that is basically 3 centre-backs in 1. The amazing Maxence Lacroix to your boys Chelsea, Thomas. Right winger. Oh, so he's a right winger. I hear that, FCB. I'm Welsh and Sorba Thomas is great for Simru. I hear that. Duckerton's on. He's singing away in the background. We love to see it. Stoke v Wolves. Right. Stoke v Wolves. Let me know the date. I'm going to put it down in my calendar. FCB, do that for me now. Bring up the match data and I'll do it. Stoke v Wolves. Let's go. Arthur says Alex Scott, better than Adam Wharton. I don't know about that. Different players to be fair, similar positions. But if he gave me one of the two, I'm taking Adam Wharton all day long. But I'll take both, to be honest. And with Liverpool's midfield, we need it. Jay says, you should do a Cardiff v Swansea watch along. Jay, that is a brilliant idea. The Welsh derby. Tell me the dates, I'll write it down now and I'll do it. Jay says, sorry, that is Wells in Welsh. Simru, I didn't know that, but I know that now. I won't forget it. Jay, let me know the date for that clash. FCB, and let me know the date for Stoke City versus Wolves. Right, so are both of you boys going to the game tomorrow? Give me your prediction. FCB, I know you're going to see Stoke City Valencia, but is your bro Duckington going with you? Jay Defo has a super thick Welsh accent like Johnny Clayton. Oh, do you know what? But obviously, Jay, you're going to be the man to know. What are they called? That awesome band from the late 90s and 2000s with the girl, what's her name? The good-looking girl with a Welsh accent. Oh, damn it. Kerry Matthews. Kerry Matthews? Yeah, loved a bit of her. Right, 29th of August, FCB says. Wow, that's an early one. Let me put that in the diary right now. Let me write it down. 29th of August. 29th, Stoke City. And that's at the Potters, yeah? That's at your ground. Stoke City versus Wolves. Right, it's in the diary, mate. That's the one we're going to do. Saying that, you won't even be here, will you, mate? Because you're going to be at the game, you lunatic. But yeah, cool. Doctor says the streets won't forget. Liverpool versus AC Milan in that one random cup called like the Euros or something. You know the streets won't forget. Stevie G, the main man. The man who put LiverpoolFC in his rucksack and said, jump in, boys, I'll take you to glory. And that is why Stevie G is the GOAT. FCB says, hopefully you're going. Well, if you don't go, you can join me here on the channel because we're doing it. Arthur says, The Cure. No, not The Cure. No, not The Cure. The Cure is led by Robert somebody. They did Mulder and Scully. Oh, come, what's their name, guys? Plenty of you older people in the chat will know. Keris Matthews and her band. Oh, and they got the song Road Rage. Wicked song. Go look it up. One of the best songs going. Road Rage. She's like, yeah, I'll sing it once it's on. Right, 28th of November, Jay says. Let me put that in the diary as well. So, we've got, that is a banging game, Jay. Thanks for that. Cardiff. And where is that first? Is that at Cardiff, Jay, or is that at Swansea? So I can get the order right. Let me know. I'm going to Swans v Burnley. Good game, my bro. Good game. Arthur says, I tried to laugh about hiding the tears in my eyes because boys don't cry. This guy. No, it's away. Oh, I see. All right, fair enough. So Wolves away. I'll switch it around. Cheers, FCB. Any more thoughts on the topic before it goes? We won't do a poll on that one because it is just it's just a one-off game and it's a friendly. If it had something truly riding on it, we could do a poll. But anything else you want to say on the Stoke City Valencia game or anything Stoke? Just say it now, people. Jay's going to Swans v Burnley and Swansea at home. Yep, no problem. I got you. Fair enough. Right. Keep any championship going. Topic. What is it? What topic is? What if Liverpool got into the Club World Cup? Well, saying that, we'd win it, Duckington. We would win it. Thomas says, read my Crystal Palace comment. Let me see, Thomas. Crystal Palace. I think I read that one, mate. Or did I miss one? I read it, Thomas. About Crystal Palace signing 3 players, centre-backs. I read it. Or if I missed it and I still can't see it, type it again, Thomas. Arthur says, Ade Dixon. That's not my surname, but I have Dixon family. Doug says, because hear me out, Jota would still be alive. Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you mean, my bro. I know, my man, but it is what it is. Listen, fate is horrible. We lose people all the way. People that we know, people we don't know, people we know through the media, people we know from other ways. But honestly, life teaches you some crazy things. You would have heard about the train crash that happened a couple of months ago. The train driver that died. I trained with that guy. But anyway, let's move on for that. When your time is up, your time is up. Random kids off time is tomorrow 6:30 p.m. I hear that, my bro. What, and you're playing, surely now, but FCB, surely you're going to be playing a strong team because ultimately, you know, your competitive game start next week, mate. I don't know who you got, but you're going to be in the Carabao Cup on the Saturday, right? FCB. So who do you have in the cup? I'm going to West Ham Portsmouth, by the way, on the 8th of August. My friend's got a ticket. And I'm going to the London Stadium to watch West Ham United, them boys that blow bubbles, take on Portsmouth in the Carabao Cup. So, you got Oldham. Fair enough, mate. That should be a nice, easy game. Where's Oldham these days? Are they in second? Are they League 2 or League 1? Yeah, the crash in Bedford. Exactly, mate. Exactly. There you go, Arthur. There you go. Jay says, you shout, do a Liverpool v Everton or Man... Oh, of course I'll be doing that, mate. 100%. Bro, Jay, because those clashes are always on TV, and I'll do them anyway. Right, this topic is coming to an end. Right, I'm going to choose one. So in the meantime, think of your own topic, and we will do that. But I'm going to bring in the next topic myself, because it's my show. So how about that? Right, I'm going to change the topic now. So anything else? Oh, League 2. Cheers for that, FCB. Anything else you want to say? Well, we've got 35 more seconds on your beloved Stoke. Go for it, my man. Where do you think they're going to end up, mate? Let us know. Your most optimistic topic, optimistic shout. Where do you think Stoke are going to finish? Let me know. You got 20 seconds. Where do we think Stoke's going to finish? 12th. Bloody hell. Might as well jump in the river, mate. Flipping heck. Right, I hear that, mate. No, seriously, though, good luck for the season, mate. What can we do? We support our teams, don't we? And we just hope for the best. But you're a top man. Arthur says 17th. Absolutely brutal. Right, next topic is up. Chosen by moi. FCB says 11 years of crap. He said 10 a minute ago, bro. It's gone to 11 now. Thomas says he reckons they'll finish 9th. I have no idea. But as I take more interest in the Championship this season, which I'm going to, because basically the Championship is such an interesting league and I want to be more over it this season. I'm going to get more educated on it this season. So I'll give you my grounding on it over the first couple of months. Let's see how Stoke get on. As the channel grows, they came 70th last time. Oh, I see. Cheers, Arthur. I didn't even know they finished that low. Jesus, just about scraped out of relegation. Right, next topic is up. Please, everyone, make sure you smash that like button. It is very important. Smash that like button. If you're on your mobile phone, close it. Close the live chat. Hit the like, then open up the chat. Join back in. If you're just on a PC, because you're big and you've got that money like that, hit the like button regardless. Let's go. Right, topic 3 is Franco Baresi, the AC Milan legend, dies at the age of 66 years of age. That is no age in this day and age. 66 years of age. centre-back for AC Milan and England. A one-club man. I'll let you know something. Dugton, you joker. Making me laugh when I'm talking about Baresi. You're a horrible man. Right, listen. Franco Baresi. Many of you would not even have seen this guy play. I saw this guy play for Italy and AC Milan. Some of you will know. You will have your opinions. Let me tell you how good this guy is. AC Milan. He wore the number 6 shirt at AC Milan. After he retired, they retired his shirt. So no other player can wear the AC Milan shirt number 6. How good do you have to be that a club retires your shirt? This guy is in the top 5 centre-backs in history. And that is, I'm not going to say it's undisputed, but it's like, it's real. This guy was unbelievable. So, what are your thoughts on Franco Baresi? What do you know of him? What do you remember of him? Over to you, chat. And I hopefully that my introduction for Big Franco has paid him a real tribute as I smash the love hearts to an Italian Serie A and obviously Italian national legend. Right. Arthur says, you said he played for England a minute ago. What are you talking about? Right. Nokia says, Nokia 3310. That's what I was laughing at, Duckton. You got me there. Let him rest, Duckton says. Fair enough, my bro. Thomas says, Jessica is playing FIFA 26. Fair enough. Hopefully she's having a good time. Give my regards to Jessica. Maybe she can pop on later. Duckton says, he missed a pen in the World Cup final, but Baggio got all the hate. Did he? I didn't remember that. I remember Baggio missing the last one. So Baresi took the other one, did he, and missed? I'm pretty sure that was 4-2 to Brazil and that. But I didn't realise that. You know what? I did not realise that. Did you remember that yourself, Duckton, or did you look it up? That is a great stat, man. That is a really interesting fact. Baggio, what a player. But let's stay on the Baresi train. This guy was unbelievable. Man marking, that guy, if he was man marking you, you were locked up and going nowhere. This guy is on the same level as Paolo Maldini. This guy honestly was an absolute GOAT. Not the fastest player in the world, but read the game like no other. Like I said, they retired his shirt. Riaz in the building. What's happening, Riaz? My guy, fellow Liverpool fan. Riaz, let the chat know how you're getting on, my bro. And Riaz, make sure you smash that like button for your boy. So that's what I'm saying, Riaz. I'm all good though, my bro. Had a fantastic day. Had lots of family in the chat today as well. Catching up with them. And I need to do it more in person. But that's been my day. Been very good. I did go to the gym today. Hurt my hand. At the gym, people. You dirty boys. Clean up your mind. At the gym. Right. Now I've only got the grip of the Hulk. Whereas earlier, I had the grip of Superman. Let's go. Right. Duckton says, I'm too young to remember, but I always just knew it for some reason. Mate, it's funny like that, right? Facts stick in our minds like that. Riaz says, I got me tickets for the new season in the ballot. Wow. What did you get, bro? Please let me know. What games have you got, Riaz? You lucky so-and-so. FCB says, I watched the tackle versus Brazil. Great tackle. 100%. Send me the link and I'll have a look. Honestly, he was an absolute baller. Thomas says 3-1 Palace. Thomas, who they're playing again? Sorry, mate, remind me. My mind is a blur. Doug says FCB what? He's obviously... yeah, I obviously did the autocorrect for him, mate. But yeah, I'm assuming it was a tackle versus Brazil. And yeah, your brother's all over you, bro. Jay says, do you play FC 26? No, I don't anymore, Jay. I used to play... I played FIFA basically when it was called FIFA up to about FIFA 21. The best FIFA is FIFA 17. Oh my days. That was the best FIFA. FIFA 15 and FIFA 17. I'm a dab hand at it as well. Very good. Obviously in these days, you know, obviously you've got like pro champs and all that. Pro clubs and all that. And obviously you've got the weekend league foot champs. I used to play that. I was a bit of a bang out. I can't lie. And back when seasons was hardcore in FIFA 15, I won Division 1, which was the hardest division to win at the time. Because I am the GOAT at video games. And yes, Arthur, you know it. Duxton says Sonic 06. Damn. It's like that, yeah? Old school games like that. But anyway, back onto Franco Baresi. They retired his shirt. Absolute legend. One of the greatest players to ever played a game. Obviously, Italy, they didn't win a World Cup with him. They obviously got to the semi-finals of Italia 1994. Like Duckerton said, he missed a penalty in the final, so he nearly won a World Cup. This guy won the Champions League. This guy won the Serie A title probably about 6-7 times. Won the Champions League as well. So this guy won it all. Franco Baresi, absolute legend. Duckerton says, I call cap. My bro, listen, you check out my channel, check out my Street Fighter stuff. I play Pragmata, finish that. Any game I play it on the hardest difficulty. Street Fighter 6, I play at master level with M. Bison and Ken, destroying people. I am the GOAT. That's all I'm going to say. Stop hating. RIP legend, rest easy. Well said, my bro. 67. Exactly. Well, died in his 67th year, but 66 years of age. No age at all. Thomas says, all ULA, what is it, Saudi Arabia? What do you mean by that, Thomas? Let us know. Jay Predict says, apart from Spain, who was your overall best team in the World Cup? A good question. Good question. Probably France until that stink. It's a tough one, actually. Maybe Norway, Maybe Norway, Jay. They played better than the sum of their parts. Got to a quarter-final. Nearly got into a semi. I think they did really well. I was really impressed with Norway. How about yours? 67 years young. Exactly, Duckerton. That's exactly right. But I guess what we've done with this little topic here, we have we've paid respect to Franco Baresi. I've given him a bit of a eulogy. And may he rest in peace, like the chat says. So we'll move on to the next topic shortly, but we'll let that play out as I read the messages. Arthur says, England. Do you know what, Arthur? Up until the semi-finals, yes. But the way we went out, no, you know what my thoughts on it. I want Tuchel gone. Not happy. Jay says France. No, I know what you mean, Jay. England, France about the same. England probably a bit better than France overall, especially as they beat them in the third place playoff. Jay says, did you find the Rue funny? I did R.I.P. Franco Baresi. No, hold on. What's that? I don't know. You lost me there. Sometimes text doesn't translate. Not sure what's funny there, or what I thought would be funny. I'm never going to laugh at anyone passing away. That is 100%. Let me know, any family members of mine, are you still in the chat? Lovely seeing you all. Hopefully you're going to have a lovely weekend. Any family members, say hello. Duckerton says, smash that like button. 100%, my bro. Jay says, the Norwegian chat. What, the Rowit? Oh, the Norwegian chat? I don't know what you mean, Jay. What you mean with the whole rowing and all that? I mean, I liked all of their stuff. I like the way they got about in the country. And I'll tell you what I did like, Jay, about Norway, is that when they were playing, obviously we were watching football at crazy hours o'clock. In the national stadium, they would have things like, they're doing a lot, the stadium was full with fans at, 2 o'clock in the morning watching Norway play the World Cup games. And it was chock-a-block. It was amazing stuff. Thomas says 2-1 Barcelona against Birmingham City. What a great friendly that is for Birmingham City to get. No worries, Jay. Whatever you're sorry about, it's all good, my bro. It is all good. Right. What is the next topic, people? Let's move on from the Baresi one. And let me know what you want to do for the next topic. Let's try and make it very inclusive and a very interesting one. Does it spark debate? Thomas says 2-2 now with Barca and Birmingham. Fair enough. So let me know. Otherwise, I'll choose a topic. Let me know if there's another one you want to pick. Drum roll. Next topic, people. Does anyone have a topic that we can talk about in the chat? Let me know. Good to see, KD. Good to see. Obviously, everyone. There's people that like to talk more than others, Kaylee. But obviously, there are some people that like to skulk around in the shadows. I'm not saying that's you. I'm not saying you're a shadow dweller. I'm not saying anything like that. But I'm glad to hear that you're there. All good. And I'm really glad to hear that news that you were telling me about earlier. Absolutely wonderful. And like I said, you need to be proud of yourself, big yourself up, because like I always say to you, you always find a way. So well done, you. Right. Raymond says, hi, Saudi are good. Saudi are gone. Amanda Stavely and Muradad should be the owners of Newcastle United by 25% stake. Yes, this from Ray. I hear that, Ray. Ray from Slavonga, Zambia. How are you doing, my bro? Hopefully you are well. Well, this is the thing. I think Saudi will continue at Newcastle. But apparently, Raymond, I don't know if you're aware of, there's big rumours, Raymond, that Saudi are going to try and buy Derby County. There's a lot of development going on in that part of the world. And apparently they want to divert some of their attention and money into Derby, Raymond. What do you think of that? Jay says, yeah, cheers for the update on that. Holy no way. Thomas says, I'm going to Jessica's house tomorrow. Great stuff. Enjoy your day, my bro. Hopefully you'll both be there for the live stream, my guy. Dugton, what you saying? No way, my bro. What, you talking about the 2-2? FCB says, yo, I'm back. Moved to my bed setup. This guy. Cruising at home in bed. You legend. Storing up all your energy for the Stoke game tomorrow. FCB says, if you mean beds... I got a topic. What is it, my bro? Duckerton, go for it. While I read out Raymond's comment. Raymond says, hi, Saudi should buy Derby County and Amanda Stavely and Muradad should buy Newcastle United. Right. Yes, from Ray. I hear you, Raymond. I hear you. Well, Saudi are very clever. They're trying to divert their portfolio. At the end of the day, the Saudi nation are not stupid. The think tank is in operation. They are thinking about the future, projected stuff. We've all done our stuff at school. Oil is running out on this earth. But at the end of the day, fossil fuels are not the one. 2075, it's all done and dusted. And that is why Saudi, one of the richest and most powerful nations on the planet, are moving their resources into sport. And that's why they took over Newcastle United. Live Golf, gaming with esports and all of these things. And now they're trying to get their stranglehold into football. Very clever, very, very clever. Natasha says, yes, I heard that about Saudis buying Derby County. Natasha, and if I'm saying it and you heard about it, then you know it's true. Because Natasha is all over everything. Thank you, Natasha. Ducton says, the World Cup is not for sale. Is that the topic, Ducton, yeah? Let's have a look. I'll put it in the chat. Right. So he says that's the topic. To be fair, Duckington, it's a tough one with this because I haven't read the piece. FCB was talking about it, funny enough, the other day. And the World Cup is not for sale. Right, let's put it down. So, this is the thing. I think your brother was telling me yesterday that basically Gianni... Right, let me actually reset the counter. I'll reset the counter. Pause, reset, start, close. Right. The World Cup is not for sale. So, what we've had is Gianni Infantino, the head of FIFA, has basically wanted to sell the rights to the World Cup, I believe, put it up to the highest tender and whatnot, obviously changing certain things. Obviously, we saw things with the hydration break, etc. What else was he trying to achieve with this sell? Please let me know in the chat. FCB, I think you told me yesterday, but it's kind of gone out of my mind. What else are we trying to do here? Is it he was trying to sell the rights of the World Cup? Please let me know, fill it in, and I will read out other messages in the chat. Ade, this is a good topic. Let me put it in the chat. Natasha says, the World Cup from 2038 will be hosted by the highest bidder. Oh, Natasha, thank you. So that is what he wants to do. He wants to... That's disgusting. Jeez, that's it. It's just hit home in my head, what you just said. That's actually disgusting. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Natasha. Thomas says, Rangers are 1-0 versus Dundee United of the Scottish Premiership. Thank you, Thomas. Natasha says, hello, everyone in the chat. Big up, Natasha, in the chat. And everyone, smash that like button. Thomas says, day one. What's that for, Thomas? Right, so, thank you, Natasha. So, Gianni Infantino's plan is to make the World Cup, right, so to hold it, it goes to the highest bidders. Well, obviously, that's always going to go. I mean, basically, that means that the World Cup will be held in Saudi forevermore then, because they've got the most money. So obviously there's got to be parameters and rules set in place. Maybe it'll be amongst a certain amount of people that could bid for it, but that's actually diabolical, because certain nations aren't going to have enough money. Certain football federations aren't going to be having enough money. So obviously this has caused a lot of furore, a lot of backlash, etc. And basically people are against it. Right. What is everyone's thoughts on this rule? Does anyone actually think it's a good idea that it goes to the higher bidder? Because that way we could basically always have it coming around to, say, England and Britain every, say, 12, 16 years, for example. Is that something that you'd be a fan of? Or do you think it's okay the way it is? Let us know. Duckington, you put the topic, you chose it. So let's hear your thoughts. FCB, you as well. All right. Trying to sell it to third-party owners and investors. FCB says, exactly. Disgraceful. Just had to mute the mic a second. Arthur says, that's not it. That's always done. He wants to make a private company for him and for billionaires to have so they can control the World Cup. I hear that, Arthur. So it's more about that's the ruse. That's the rumour. Not the rumour. That's the ruse that they want to do it to the highest bidder. But really, it's kind of hidden by the agenda that they basically want to front it and basically control the World Cup via a company and maintain monopoly and in charge of it and that lucrative money. Thank you, Arthur. I hear what you're saying. So yeah, what is everyone else's thoughts on this subject? Because I'm not that educated on it, to be honest. Raymond says, hi, Robson should sign for Newcastle United right now. Who is Robson, Raymond? Let me know. Robson, which player? FCB says, hell no. So yeah, you want it to say the same then, FCB? Let me know. Ade, I'm going live on Sunday. What are you doing, Jay? Let me know what you're up to, my bro. With your channel, you're going live. Let me know what you're going to be doing. Share in the chat. And maybe we can throw some people your way. Help you grow on your journey. Let me know what you're doing, my brother. FCB says, why is the mic muted? Oh, I just needed to get some water. So I didn't want to be like talking that talk in the background. But yeah, just got my son to do the tag team. Pass the baton with the water. Because this talking, it does your throat in 100%. Raymond says, hi, Robson, the Fulham player, should sign for Newcastle United right now. Says Ray. Robson? Who's Robson at Fulham? I don't know the player. Let me know the full name. Let me know the full name. Thomas says, I'm playing FC 26 now with Jessica. Awesome, awesome. Who's your team? Are you playing at pro clubs or versing each other online? Let me know. Yeah, Jay, and also let me know what you're doing. Anyone else got any thoughts on this topic for the World Cup? Me personally, I'd like it to stay the same. Natasha, what are your thoughts on this subject? Please let me know. Arthur says, gave you a sub, Jay. Amazing. Helping people out, the football family sticking together. Natasha says, not long now to start a football season. Community Shield on the 16th of August. City versus Arsenal. Who are you taking in that game, Natasha? Let me know. I'll certainly be watching it, and I'll be doing a live stream watch along of that massive clash on the 16th. Next topic, Man United or Liverpool? Camille, stop being cheeky. He means Robinson. Ah, of course. Oh, well, that makes sense. Ray, that's a good shout, my man. Well, Raymond, here's the thing. Lewis Hall, they're looking like Man United. They're trying to nip in and take him. He's one of the best left-backs in the league. Obviously, Robinson will be a great replacement, but Lewis Hall is obviously a young player, just 21 years of age, one of the best players in the league. But Robinson, yeah, maybe you need to get him as a backup, bit of a cheaper option, make some money off Robinson, off Lewis Hall while you're rebuilding and bringing Anthony Robinson from the United States and obviously Fulham. Thomas says, ultimate team. Fair enough, my bro. I used to play it a lot, Thomas. Arthur says, what's he going on about? Arsenal. Well, we're going to see. That's going to be a good indicator for the season ahead. Right, but let's get back to the topic. Topic 4, the World Cup, not for sale. Anyone else have any thoughts on that? Duckington, what else do you think, my bro? Me personally, I'm happy with the rotation. I think it should be one of those things where it's called the World Cup, not the highest bidder cup. It should be in Europe once. Then it should go to Africa. And I think it's hardly ever in Africa. It should go to Asia. Do you know what I mean? Why not have a World Cup in India, for example? We've never had that before. You know, World Cup in Australia. When's the last time we ever had that? If at all. You know what I mean? Let's get it in all of the places. Oceania, all these places. Should go back to South America again at some point. Obviously back to the Americas, Central America, etc., etc. We need to mix up the World Cup. It is our game, the world game. Camille says, Boca Juniors, what about them, my bro? What about them? Oh, you're just bigging them up. I hear that, Camille. FCB says, Ade, boo. World Cup in Australia and New Zealand both co-host it together. Natasha, exactly. How good would that be? And yeah, we absolutely amazing. Jay says, I'm doing the Black Cats versus Wrexham watch-along, following after you, my bro. My guy. I would sub to your channel. Drop me a reminder later if I'm busy, but I will do that for you, Jay. No problem. And if I can help you at all, and I'm live streaming at the same time, Jay, I'll do a raid and throw some people your way. But make sure your content's good, my bro, because I don't want to be putting this face at jeopardy. At the end of the day, my content is class. I've got the motor mouth. I'm giving it some. I'm growing on a daily basis. And Jay, I will throw those bones your way, those scraps, those chicken nuggets your way, my guy. But make sure you are putting out a top quality product. I believe in you, Jay. Just remember that, my guy. Right, Arthur says, Jay, I think you need 50 subs to go live. Is that right? I think you can go live anytime, you know, Arthur. I think so. But let's see. Actually, well, you better look into it, I guess. If to be fair, if Arthur said something, he's probably right. Natasha said, I see the Scottish football is back tonight. Is it the Scots Prem started tonight? Let me know, Natasha. Good to know. I do know the Championship starts on the, weekend 14th, 15th, 16th. Natasha says, on the 8th, the EFL is back. EFL is back, Natasha. That's right. I'm going to a game. West Ham, Portsmouth. Jay predicts. Cheers, my bro. You're welcome, mate. SCB said it did happen. The Women's World Cup in 2023 in Australia and New Zealand. Do forgive my ignorance, bro. I'm not over the female game. Don't get me wrong. I do like a cheeky female footballer. Do I watch female football? I do not. But to be fair, I wouldn't watch League 1 or 2 either. I'd watch some Championship, and obviously I watch the Premier League, other countries, international football, Champions League, obviously, Europa League. But women's football, not my cup of tea. Good, fair play to the ladies. And I don't mind if a big England game's on, I might have it on in the background. But yeah, saying that, when I did actually, going back to what Thomas was saying about FIFA, you go through some of the cards and you see some of these female footballers and you're like, geez, these girls are smoking hot. But anyway, let's keep it on track. Nothing to do with any thoughts in my mind. Let's keep it real. And Dixon family, if you're listening, delete that comment. How about that? Right. Raymond says, hi, Eddie Howe departed Newcastle. Eddie Howe gone now. And Jazzy is appointed as the manager of Newcastle United right now. And Jazzy be announced as the manager of Newcastle United now. Yes, from Ray. And yes, well, we did a topic on Newcastle at the beginning of the show, Raymond. So maybe after the show, you can go back and watch the topic. We talked about Eddie Howe. We talked about what we think's going on. And I mentioned your manager. Your new manager coming in, Raymond, he has won the, basically the, where do I put it? In that part of the world, that region, the Asian Champions League. He's won it 2 years in a row with Al Ali. So he's obviously a manager who knows what he's doing, but coming into the Premier League, Raymond, what are your thoughts on it? But Raymond, please do go back and check the beginning of the show at the end of this to see what we were talking about with Eddie Howe. So, let's put a poll in the chat. Arthur says I'm getting clipped up. I don't care. I love it. Right, anyway. The World Cup is not for sale. Good or bad thing? I think this is going to be an obvious landslide. Right, let's start the poll. World Cup for sale. Good or bad thing? Everyone, hit that voting button. Please let us know. Actually, it's a double-edged question. Is the World Cup is not for sale, good or bad thing? So obviously it's a yes in my eyes. What is everyone saying? Right, let's have a look. Right. What else did I miss anything? Let me see. FCB says, I went to England v Ukraine women at the Hill Dickinson recently. Oh, wow, did you, mate? And what was the stadium like? Let us know. Was it a good game? Who won? And were you really concentrating on the football? All those blonde Ukrainians running around the pitch? FCB? I'm giving you the side-eye, my friend. I'm giving you the side-eye. Right. Raymond says, yes, Jazzel should come into the Premier League for Newcastle United. Yes, right now from Ray. I hear you, Ray. So you're happy. Good luck this season, my bro. But Raymond, bad luck in the first game of the season because you know who you're playing, Raymond. The boys from Liverpool. Right. Raymond says, yes, the World Cup is for sale. This from Ray. Yeah, we know we know they're trying to sell it, but is it a bad thing? Right. Thomas says, no. Exactly. So make sure you vote. So, England, says Arthur. Right. Next topic is coming up now. Right. Next topic is coming up. And, right, actually, let me read Natasha's thing. Give everyone a chance to vote. Natasha says, Trump and his son want to be on the FIFA board so they can have a say on how and where the World Cup should be played. Wow, Natasha, is that real? Do you see what I mean? Disgusting. And here's the thing. Trump already showed himself up. Knows nothing about football. Didn't even know what a red card meant. But wants to be on the board and have power, control, and a stake in things, Natasha. Absolutely diabolical. Honestly, these people, too much money. Honestly, sometimes, Natasha, you just think this world needs a big, fat, hard reset. It's absolutely disgusting. It really is. It really is. But what a shame. But thank you for, honestly, Natasha, thank you once again for the brilliant information and insight. Much appreciated, as always. Right. We give it another minute. Let the timer count down. And I'll have a swig of the old H2O. Cool. Could I get a quieter bottle, maybe? Right. Thomas says, stop talking about Trump. Yeah, we're not going to talk about him anymore, Thomas. But, Thomas, you're going to like the next subject, Thomas, because it's about your club, Chelsea. So hold tight. In about 1 minute, Thomas. We're going to go through the Chelsea news. Arthur says, do that with American football, the sport designed for money. There you go, says Arthur. Natasha says, what was wrong with Curtis Jones at pre-season training? Well, Natasha, there was an argument because Curtis Jones wanted the armband when Szoboszlai went off. Szoboszlai went off, gave the armband to Tsimikas. Curtis Jones thought it disrespectful. But in a way, because he argued, he was kind of disrespecting Tsimikas, saying, why are you giving it to him for? Who's he? He's been out on loan last summer at Roma. I kind of get Curtis's thing. He should have done it in a better way, and he shouldn't have made an idiot of himself, Natasha. So it's a pretty poor showing. But they made up, and later on the plane, Curtis Jones did an Instagram shot with him and Szoboszlai, you know, doing the whole bros thing. It's all good. A lot of it is basically a lot of hullabaloo, a lot of much ado about nothing, Natasha. But that was what it was all about. Right, the topic is over. We're moving on to the next one. We're going to end the poll. World Cup is not for sale, good or bad thing? Yes, so it's good that it's not for sale, and no, 33%. Interesting. I thought it might be a bit more than that, as in the yes column. But it is what it is. It's all about opinions. Right. Let me fill in the next topic. Right, Thomas, you're going to like this one. Hopefully you've liked them all, Thomas, but you'll especially like this one because it's about your boys, Chelsea FC, the Blues. So let's start the timer. Oop. Actually, and it's topic 5, I believe. Oops. Let's change that. Topic 5. Topic 5. Bang. Right. Thomas says about Chelsea now. Yes, it is. Right. topic 5 is Chelsea have been fined £10 million. $10 million. Now, £10 million, but avoided a suspended points deduction. So let me give you more of a background information on this story. So Chelsea have been fined £10 million, and that has been reduced, by the way, twice. Firstly, from 24 million down to 17 million, down to 11 million, and now £10 million overall. So it's already been reduced, multiple times, because Chelsea self-reported themselves due to illegal payments during the Roman Abramovich era between 2009 and 2022 regarding dodgy payments to agents and other clubs, etc. So, because Chelsea self-reported themselves, and basically when Blueco took over Chelsea a few years ago, they found all these irregularities in the paperwork that Roman and the boys had brushed under the carpet in their previous ownership. Blueco, led by Todd Bowley and Egdad Bagdali, reported themselves to the Premier League to say, look, we've bought the club. It's not our fault, guys. Dodgy stuff has happened at Chelsea. It's not down to us, but we own the club now. We need you to look at this. We need to report ourselves. So Chelsea's owners reported themselves in to the Premier League. Now, Chelsea have now subsequently been fined 10 million, and they've had a suspended sentence placed on them, which means that they cannot sign players for 2 years and register them. And they've also had a points deduction suspended for 2 years as well. So what this means is, if they do anything dodgy in the next 2 years, they could be stopped from buying players and be given a points deduction if they do anything else on similar lines. So hopefully I've explained it well enough for you. So that is the Chelsea situation. My question to you is, what are your thoughts on this Chelsea situation? Should they have been hit harder? Let's be honest. They did report themselves. Is the fine adequate enough? The £10 million? Over to you guys. What do you think should have happened? Thomas, what is your opinion? You're a Chelsea fan. Ray, what is your thoughts as a Newcastle fan? Your club has had problems with finances. Everybody else, you all support clubs. What are your thoughts on the Chelsea situation? Did they get off lightly, or have they been punished enough? Let me know. Natasha says, so why has the 115 charges against Man City been delayed? We can talk about that in a bit, Natasha, because, well, that's just another story. Let's stay on the Chelsea topic, though. But yes, thank you for that. Jay, I thought you said you were 17. I'm pretty sure he is. Didn't he say he was? Right. Anyway, what are we saying? People, about this Chelsea situation? Over to you, people in the chat. Arthur says, if you turn yourself in, you get the same punishment, slap on the wrist. Wow. So Arthur's not having it. So Arthur, you think they've been let off lightly? Natasha says, Arthur is having a pizza. How do you know, Natasha? Gary says, ban them. So you think they should be banned from buying players, Gary? Banned from registering players, etc. And you think they should be, what, docked points clearly as well? What else? What else do people have to say on the matter? Thomas, it's your club, Chelsea. What do you think, Thomas? Let us know. Hey, Jessica, welcome to the chat. Jessica says, can you talk Chelsea, please? Can you talk Crystal Palace, please? Veteran. I'll tell you what, Jessica. We will do Crystal Palace because you asked nicely in the next topic. We will do that, Jessica. Make sure you stick around and I will think of what we're going to talk about. How does that suit you, Jessica? And Jessica, don't let down your boy, the veteran. Smash that like button. Thomas says Chelsea shouldn't get fined and suspended at all. But why not, Thomas? Tell me the reasons why. Is it because they owned up to these things? Or do you think... Thomas, look at it this way. Chelsea benefited from dodgy dealings. Chelsea got players maybe they shouldn't have done, Thomas. Thomas, Chelsea won leagues, Champions Leagues, with players that shouldn't have been there. Did they benefit from this cheating, Thomas? The truth is yes. So should they be punished? Be honest, Thomas. Think about it. Let me know. Natasha says, I thought a team used to get relegated. This is a good point, Natasha. When teams have done these things, in Italy, Natasha's right, Thomas. If Chelsea were in Serie A, like Juventus were, Juventus got found guilty of the same things, Thomas, about 10 years ago. And they were relegated. That's how deep it is, Thomas. So Natasha has a very big point. Arthur says that 10 million should be paid by Abramovich. I hear that, Arthur, but that is a drop in the ocean from him. But yeah, you're right, though. You're right. He should be paying it. He could reach down a sofa of his Russian yacht and find that money. But the money, the £10 million, as we know, is going into grassroots football. But seriously, well said, Natasha. Jessica said, yes, I may be happy to talk about Crystal Palace. Excellent, Jessica. Smash that like button, my dear. Thomas says, because they don't deserve this. Well, the thing is, though, Thomas, at the time, they probably did deserve to be punished. I think the new owners don't deserve to be punished. I think they should be given credit, Thomas, because the new owners, they shone a light on the club's misgivings and the misdeeds of the club. And they said, look, we found something in the club that's bad, it's rotten, and we want you to look at it, but just take it easy on the punishment. So I think that's what the Premier League has done, or the FA as it were. But I do believe they should be punished, and they have been. But it's just a money punishment. That's the thing. Money in football, punishing them, it doesn't really hurt them that much. Should they have been punished with more, though? Should it have been a points deduction? Should it have been a ban on buying players? Because, Thomas, here's the thing, and I'm not saying this right or wrong, but what they did, Thomas, is they cheated with payments to agents and other clubs to get better players. And by getting those better players, they won stuff. And when they won stuff, they might have helped other clubs get relegated. They might have stopped other teams from winning things, Thomas. So that's the thing. That's the grey area. It wasn't the fact that they've admitted they cheated and did things that were wrong, but they benefited from those things. And when one person benefits, Thomas, that means the other 19 teams in the league or in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, those teams suffered because Chelsea did do some cheating, my bro. And that is the facts. In my opinion, I think what they should have done is fine them. Maybe the points deduction is a bit harsh, maybe, if they're not going to go that far. But I think they should have put a stop on them registering players for a few years to teach them a lesson and make sure nothing like this happens again. And it's a deterrent to other clubs doing the same thing. Because what's to stop other teams doing these things? If you fine Man City 10 million, what does that mean? Nothing. If you fine Arsenal 10 million, nothing. You know what I mean? So there you go. Jessica says, are you going to do a Crystal Palace live stream on your channel? I am, Jessica. The friendlies I'm not sure about, but in the Premier League, I definitely am, Jessica. And I hope you're there to join me. Thomas says, Mikhailo Mudryk should get a ban as well. Well, he did get a ban. And that's the thing, Thomas. That's a good example. He got found with a substance in his body and he's been banned from playing football for 18 months. And now he's been let back to play football again. He doesn't get his 18 months of his career back. So he's been punished. So why aren't Chelsea being punished more? That is the question. Arthur says Everton had 10 points deducted. Exactly. There you go. Thomas, Arthur is spitting facts. Everton had less issues than Chelsea. They had 10 points deducted. I think it was reduced to 6 in the end. And Chelsea have had no points deducted. And all Everton did in comparison was spend 20 million over budget. Well, Chelsea were doing way more than that. So I do believe they should have been punished more. Natasha says, so what happens if City get away with 115 charges? Well, Natasha, that's going to be the interesting thing because ultimately, I just don't see how they're going to get away with it. But are they going to get basically the reprieve treatment that it seems like Chelsea are getting? But honestly, Natasha, I just can't see how they get out of it. I just can't. And if they do, it's a football travesty, and we all know it. But very good point, Natasha. Very good point. Arthur said should be in the Championship. The thing is, though, Arthur, I hear what you're saying. Now, imagine you relegate Chelsea to the Championship. Now, that punishes Chelsea, right? It damages them. They don't earn as much money. They're in the Championship. They don't get the success. They don't get Champions League, and it hurts them. But then, Arthur, that punishes the Championship clubs, because Chelsea automatically become the best team in the Championship, and then they win that league at a canter, and then that stops other Championship teams from going up. So it doesn't even help people in the Championship either. Think about it. What happened to Rangers in Scotland when they went into administration was they banned it. They dropped them to the 4th division. Maybe that should have been what happened. Dropped them to the bottom division and made them fight their way back up. Thomas says, I'm glad that Chelsea got fined and suspended. But that's the thing, Thomas. They got fined, but they didn't actually get suspended. They got a suspended sentence, meaning that they can still buy players. They don't lose any points. But it's a suspended sentence, which is like saying, well, I caught you stealing something, but you're not going to get in any more trouble as long as you don't do it again, which is what Arthur was saying. It's a slap on the wrist. It's not really a punishment. But there you go. Big John Nugget in the building. How you doing, Big John? Aston Villa man, Big John. Good evening, everyone. Talking to you from Thetford Forest camping. Beautiful stuff, my bro. Wow. He's out there getting signal, enjoying a campfire. I hope you're roasting, but not roasting your nuts, my bro. How you doing, big sir? Big John, the big man on campus. Big John, make sure you put a big smash on that like button, my bro. Arthur says you can't drop them past one tier as they haven't affected those leagues. I hear that, my bro. Cheers for that, Arthur. Natasha says, oh, glad it's not so hot today. Much cooler and cooler temps coming. Finally be able to get some sleep. Damn, Natasha, it stops you sleeping that badly, yeah? Wow. Nothing stops me sleeping. Natasha says, are you on a camping holiday, Big John? The main man himself, Abdul. Hi, Ade and chat. How are you? Like and subscribe. Thank you, Abdul. I'm good, my brother. Humble dude says, football is a joke when it comes to this sort of stuff. The only reason FIFA are even doing what what the whole FFE thing is to avoid Swiss law. The rich are scum. No surprise. There are never any punishments. Humble dude coming in with, well, big facts and a big opinion. You got to big him up. Big respect to Humble. Arthur says, hello, Sir Abdul. Abdul says, we need a right back, a left back, 2-time centre back, CDM, centre midfield, left wing, right wing, and number 9. Abdul, we don't need a left wing, mate. We got too many of those. But Abdul, you know we're not going to get those. Abdul, I'm dropping a video in the morning regarding my opinion on the current state of Liverpool and the transfer scene. Abdul, you're probably going to know my take, but I advise you to watch my video that I'm going to drop tomorrow. It might give you a bit of peace regarding what's going on with Liverpool and the Premier League transfer market. So look out for that video, my bro. And Abdul, make sure you smash that like button. Big John says, just weekend, got the beer on the go too. He's going to be lagging by the lake. Make sure you let people know where you were, my bro. We don't want you falling in or getting savaged by wolves in the Thetford Forest. Of course, there's no wolves, but enjoy your stay, my guy. Abdul says, hi, Arthur, how are you? Jay, I thought you said you were 17. Arthur's on his case. The FA is stupid. They're donuts, says Thomas. Arthur says, I'm good. And how are you in Leeds? Does FSG and the board have a future plans? They do, my man, they do. Abdul, let's stay calm. But we're not doing Liverpool as much today because we've done that bit already last week. But Abdul, look out for my video on Liverpool tomorrow, my bro. Hopefully you enjoy it. Jessica says, can we please talk about Crystal Palace so that can make me happy? Oh, bless you, Jessica. We are. The countdown, as you can see, is there in the chat. So let's do a final poll on it. On Chelsea. Final poll on Chelsea. Chelsea. Have they been punished enough? Let's put it in. I think this is going to be an interesting one. Chelsea. Have they been punished enough? There's the poll. Put your answers in the chat. We've got 30 seconds. Go, 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 go. Power Rangers. Have Chelsea been punished enough? Put your opinions in the chat. Put your answers in the chat. Thomas, I know what you're going to vote. Jay says, sorry for the confusion, Arthur. That's all right, mate. Jay, it's Jay's birthday today. Happy birthday to the young man. Drop him that love, 100% to Jay. His 17th birthday. Spending it with us, in with friends. on the channel. V.A.S, the veteran arcade soldier. Gary says, hell no. Abdul says, Chelsea and Man City need to be punished, but they won't be. Natasha says, I hear Arsenal are looking at Adam Morton. Oh, Natasha, don't say that. We do not need that. Abdul says, money talks and corruption exist everywhere. It does. It does, Abdul, sadly. Jay says, Ade, I'll set my alarm for you at 8 a.m. No problem, Jay, no problem. But you don't have to get up that early, mate. I'm going live at 9:45. But enjoy your rest, my bro. Enjoy your rest. Thomas says, happy birthday, Jay. Natasha says, hi, Abdul. Right, has everyone voted? And Big John says, hello, happy birthday. Right, has everyone voted on the Chelsea situation? Have they been punished enough? Get your opinions in. Love out to the Dixon family in the background. Hopefully they're still watching. No pressure if you're not, but hopefully you are. Jay says, thanks guys, loving the chat. Abdul says, hi Natasha, that's what we like to see. Right, Jessica, we're here at last for your topic and we're going to make it interesting. So Jessica, I hope you're ready. So we're going to end the poll. Let's see. Yeah, Thomas, we know you would say no because you're a Chelsea fan. But let's see how it ended. Chelsea, have they been punished enough? No, 56. And yes, 44. Well, to be honest with you, that was closer than I thought it was going to be, to be fair. I thought you lot were going to come down like a cartoon, anvil, piano, or ton of bricks. Abdul says, lamb biryani and lamb madras. Well, I'll let you know that I had a Charlie Bigham's chicken. What did I have? I had a chicken tikka from Charlie Bigham, which is a banging food source. Charlie Bigham, if you're listening, sponsor the channel. Your boy Ade, the veteran arcade soldier. Let's go. Right. But I hope you enjoy your dinner. Right, next subject coming up. Jessica, where are you? I cannot see you, Jessica. Raise your hand in the chat, Jessica. Where is the girl, Jessica? Don't let me down. We're doing the topic for you. Right, the next topic, I'm setting the agenda. After this one. Hey, there she is. Make sure you smash that like button, Jessica. I'm watching you. Right, let's start the timer on this subject. Right, where are we? Let's start the timer. So let me introduce the topic. Oh, damn it. I've taken off the timer. What a prat. Right, where is it? Reset. Start. Is it there? Wicked. There it is. Right. Let me introduce the topic. Yes, man like Tribe. How you doing, my bro? Tribe. Lovely to see you again, my bro. We're going to have to do a collab soon. Plus, I need to spend some time checking out your channel so we can go through some bits, my bro. Right. Thomas says, Eagles, Eagles. Right. Natasha says, wow, Natasha's not messing about. Ruthless aggression. MRI Tribe says, Crystal Palace need to give us Wharton for a smaller fee. You done know, my bro. Jay says, Palace have lost Joe Ward, a big star, went to Joel Ward, you mean? Yeah, went to Swansea. Yeah, he's a veteran now these days. Right, let me introduce the subject and then I'll read up the messages. Right, Crystal Palace. What do we expect this season? Now, let's introduce the topic for Jessica in the chat, who is a big eagle, spreading her wings and fly. Right, anyway, so Crystal Palace, they've lost their manager, whose name has left my mind in a moment, who's just taken over at Nottingham Forest. So, Oliver Glasner. Oliver Glasner has taken over at Forest. He's left Crystal Palace. They've got a new manager in, which they brought over from Ligue 1, I believe. So they've lost a top manager. They've lost Maxence Lacroix. They're looking like they could lose Adam Morton, but are hanging on to him for now. Jessica, you have to remind me, have they lost JP Mateta? I thought he was going to leave on a free. Is that the case? Or have you've still got Mateta? You've obviously brought in Jacob Jakob Strand Larsen as well. So what do we expect from Crystal Palace this season? Crystal Palace are a team that fluctuate in and around 12th, 13th in the Premier League. Very steady Eddie team. But losing a top manager, as they do every few seasons, they've lost Lacroix, a great centre-back. They've lost Gahey, big player. They've obviously brought in Camvo at centre-back as well, who's a promising young player. What are our thoughts on Crystal Palace? Where do we think they're going to go this season? Who is their new manager? I can't remember. What are we expecting about Crystal Palace this season? Over to you, chat. Right, I'll read out the messages. Natasha says, Mr. Trisman, Aussie Ange is back. Big up my son, please. Aussie Ange, what's your son's name? Let me know and I'll say it out loud. Aussie Ange. The top boy, the Spurs man, Aussie Ange. He's a sports Tottenham Hotspur over there in Australia. Let us know, Aussie. What's your son's name? And I'll say a shout out to him. Mr. Tribe said, yes, my broski. My contact is on my bio, broski. Would love that. We will do that, my bro. I will contact you. I will get it done. Mate, let me make a note of that now because I will no doubt forget because I'm a nightmare like that. But we will do that, my G, 100%. Right, let's get back to the chat. Thomas says, Thomas, come on. Right, hold on 1 minute. Aussie Ange says, big up my son, please. Keep up the world-beating content. Will do. Aussie Ange, big up to you and your son over there in Australia. Hope you're well. I'm sure your son supports Tottenham like his dad. Let us know your son's name so I can give him a proper shout out to the top youngster himself. Thomas says, top 5 for Palace. No chance, Thomas, but I respect it. We're not talking about Chelsea, Thomas. If you're talking about Thomas, I believe you. 5th place, says Thomas. Wow. And Thomas thinks probably Chelsea's going to get 3rd. I think he was saying. But Jessica says, I hope that Crystal Palace get new centre-back. No, he's not left yet. He is at the club still. Fair enough. Jessica, I thought JP Mateta's contract was running out and he was going to go to AC Milan on a free. I didn't realise he was still there. So he must be going into his last year of his contract now. Is that right, Natasha? Jessica, do you know? But yeah, Mateta, you need to keep him fit this season. He's going to be a massive part of yourselves staying up. I think if you lose Mateta, you could be in trouble, Jessica. Me personally, I still think Crystal Palace, they won't go down. They won't get relegated. They're too good for that. But I think there will be a bit of a drop-off, in my opinion, Jessica. I know that they usually finish about, 12th, 13th, etc. on average over a 10-year period. But I do think that this season could be the season where Crystal Palace drop to, say, 14th, 15th. Sorry to say that, my dear. Let's see. Jay Predict says, Mr. Tribe is live. MRI Tribe is live. Good. Hopefully he's doing some good content. I need to check it out. Duxton says, we are still live. 100%, my bro. We are still here. We are ride or die till we keep going all the way. An hour and 45 and I've still got batteries. I've still got batteries in the guns. Let's go. Big John says, Crystal Palace 8th. Wow, Big John, what are you basing that on? They've lost their manager, Glasner. They've lost Gahey last January. They've lost Lacroix, their 2 best centre-backs. Mateta could even leave soon, but he's still there, to be fair. But 8th, I think you are being very optimistic. Duckington says, Palace mid-table. Yeah, probably so. They always finish between 10th and 12th anyway, but I think there might be a bit of a drop-off for them. Maybe 14th this season. Let's see. Jessica says, what centre-back do you think that Crystal Palace should get? The thing is, though, I'm probably not the best to ask that because me being a Liverpool fan, we're kind of looking at maybe a bit of the higher tier market. Jessica, Crystal Palace are a very clever club. They're the kind of club that needs to get those young up-and-coming centre-backs. Right, I'll give you an example. Bournemouth have just signed Antonio Silva from Benfica for 26 million. Jessica, you were linked with him before. Antonio Silva, should have bought him. Or there's Ousmane Diomande from Sporting. Crystal Palace have been linked with him, Jessica, for 2 years. Originally, they wanted 45, 50, 60 million euros. Maybe, Jessica, Crystal Palace needs to push the boat out, get Diomande from Sporting for 30, 40 million. Let me know your thoughts on that, Jessica. You've probably heard of the player. Duxton says, right now, anyway. Oh, Palace mid-table right now anyway, without any signings. I hear that, my bro. Jay predicts, well done, Ade. 27 likes and 257 subs. Absolutely magnificent. The channel grows from strength to strength. But ultimately, even though this handsome face is the vehicle behind the channel, I can't do it without you absolute superheroes. Right. Duckerson says, I sometimes stream like this, but right now, nah. Fair enough, my bro. Glad to hear it. Next time you're going on, message me. Let me know. And if I'm free, I will join you and boost you up 100%. How do you do it? What's that, my bro? What's the question? I couldn't. What's that? Keep going on and on like Ariston back in the day. Duracell, Energizer Bunny. It's because I'm just built like that. My guy. Right. What else do we have to say about Crystal Palace? What else do you want to say about it, Jessica? Please have your say. Bob, LFC, we know who you support, my brother. LFC Bob, welcome to the channel. First time we're chatting. It's your boy Ade, the veteran arcade soldier. Bob, show the channel some love, my bro. Like the stream and subscribe. Big Bob, LFC in the building says, would you take Jed Spence? I'll quickly answer that because this is Jessica's section on Crystal Palace. Bob, sign me up for Jed Spence all day long, my man. 40 to 50 million, it's a snip. Now, I've got a video coming out tomorrow morning about finances and football and how we can't take it so lightly. But Jed Spence plays right back. Better than Frimpong, because Frimpong is not a right back. Probably better going forward than Frimpong at the moment as well, Bob. But he can cover right back, left back. We don't know what's going on with Conor Bradley. Could he break down again? And Jeremy Frimpong is not a right back. Mate, I'd be all over it, Bob, 100%. Let me know your thoughts. But I think Liverpool, we're going to cheap out because we're going to go all in for Barcola and we're probably going to get a cover player that plays centre-back and right-back. Who that is, I'm not sure. But I think that's what we're going to do, Bob. But Bob, welcome to the channel, my brother. Love it. Thomas says, me and Jessica are playing FC 26 right now and we're playing Rush. I do know the mode. I've played it a few times with my son. Just vague, just quickly though. I think it started in FIFA 23, but enjoy. Jessica, talk about some Crystal Palace. It's your subject, Jessica. Go. Jed Spence, overrated, Duxton says. What I would say is, in a one-on-one sense defending, he is out of this world. Nobody's going to outpace this guy in the Prem. Probably top 5 fastest players in the Prem. And once he gets you in a one-on-one, he locks you up in the Jed Spence penitentiary. You are going nowhere. You are going down to prison. Jed Spence will lock you up. Arthur says, seagulls, seagulls, seagulls. My cousins in the chat will love that. Hopefully a few of them are still there. If not, love to the Dixons. Right, Duxton says, conceded 2 goals by being a... My bro, this is the thing. During the World Cup, he was brilliant. But at the end of the day, what channel are we talking about? Which game are we talking about? Was it in the Championship, my bro? Was he on loan somewhere you're talking about? He won at Stoke. What's going on? Bob says, we're being linked with Tomori. Yes, we are. That is a new link. What do you think of that? Bob, you joined the channel just now. We were talking about that at the beginning of the show. I'll be happy with that deal, mate. Here's the thing, Bob. Tomori is an established English player. He's played for England a few times. Never really made the grade. But here's my point. Bob, he's not the greatest centre-back. He's like a level 2 tier centre-back. So, of course, people saying, well, why do you want him at Liverpool? Because at the end of the day, you can't have 4 Virgil van Dijks. Just like Arsenal have a Saliba and a Gabriel. But the other 2 are a level below that. They're still excellent players. But obviously, when Saliba's out, that's when you bring in... what's his face? You bring in your Ben White or you bring in your Calafiori. Great players, but they're not the top standard. So... Tomori comes in, you know, if Van Dijk goes missing for a game, or more pertinently, Jeremy Jacquet is a little bit naughty at the beginning, doesn't really quite make it to task at the moment, or suffers an injury. You're bringing Tomori to plug the breach for a month or so. Decent standard player. And Tomori, he's got Prem experience. He's English, so it would help the English quota. He's rapid as anything. He's physical, and he's a very underrated player. I would be all over it. And Bob, to be fair, that's the reason we're looking at him, because we're no mugs like that. What are your thoughts on it, Bob? Duxton says, nah, at Spurs. Oh, I see what you mean. Fair enough. Yeah, but everyone was letting in goals at Spurs that season, my bro. The Benzie Penitentiary, Doctor says. Only 15 inmates. We know where you're going, my bro. Soon to be joined by, what's his name? Alessandro Bastoni. Right. Calafiori starts at right back. Oh, you mean left back. But that's the point. But he can play centre back, right? And that's the thing what Liverpool need. We need a player that can cover. If we're not going to get an out-and-out right back like Jed Spence, we need a player after that can cover centre back for Liverpool and act as a right back like Calafiori does for Arsenal. Plays left back and centre back. See what I'm saying? Bob, what do you think of Tomori? Jessica, where are you? 3 minutes on your subject, Crystal Palace. And you're nowhere to be seen, Jessica. Too busy playing FIFA with your boy. Right. Well, on that note, that looks like that's the end of the Crystal Palace segment. And I'm going to bring on the next part. Mason Greenwood is like a weatherman. Yeah, 15 degrees, yeah, and raining down punches left, right. Now, let's not get into all that. Strike that from the record, Your Honour. Right, feels like 18. No, I hear that, my bro. Yeah, I hear you, my bro. I hear you. Right, the next topic is... This is a very interesting one to me, and I've got a big opinion on that. Bob, let me know what you think about the whole Jed Spence thing, and also, what do you think about Tomori to Liverpool? Please let me know. And don't forget, everyone, like and subscribe to the channel. I thank you. Arthur, what is that for, my bro? With the raised eyebrows. Right, next topic coming up. Right, quite a similar one, and I want to introduce it, and I'll give you some background on it. So, oh, I see, Arthur. Yeah, exactly. He's being a bit tongue-in-cheek, his old Duckington. Yeah, but honestly, and this is why, guys, this is why nobody should idolise footballers. Now, obviously, you get male and female footballers, and probably the women are better behaved than the men. But we know this about the planet. Men are always behaving badly. Now, here's the thing. Men, footballers, they are just men in general. And this is why you don't make them heroes, because they are just as fallible as me and you. These footballers are people that will cheat on their girlfriends or their wives. They will take drugs. They will do mad stuff like drive cars. They will gamble. They will do really horrible things out there. Guess what? Just like most men are capable of doing. They lie. They cheat. They steal. They do all of these things. So never put these people on a pedestal. When they're not kicking a football for your club at the weekend or whatever, just remember who they are. They are just men. When they're on the pitch, love them for that 90 minutes. But once the curtain calls and the match timer stops, they're just people. They are no more special than you or I. Just remember that. Right. Arthur says, when Lauren James stamped on another player, I was horrified. Didn't know about that, my bro. Dux is Maradona on the sugar, but some people still call him the greatest ever. Duxton, there you go, my bro. This is it. This is it. And this is why you don't put these people on a pedestal. Right. Next topic. Bob, hopefully you're still there, my bro, and enjoying the background as a fellow Red. Right. Fulham FC. What do we expect? Right. Hot take. Hot take on Fulham. My friend was pointing something out to me, and he thinks, and he kind of like didn't need to talk me around. When I thought about what he was saying, I thought he was spot on. Fulham's going early with the 8th. No. My friend Fulham thinks that they are a prime candidate for going down. Now, bear in mind, he did caveat it by saying, well, are the 3 promoted teams likely to be better than Fulham? Maybe not. But he's basically thinking they could be the worst of the rest and maybe even go down. Reason being, fourfold. First, the manager, Marco Silva, has left the building. He's taken over Benfica. Marco Silva was one of the better managers in the league, outperforming at an exceptional level. So they've lost a fantastic manager. The second reason why Fulham could be in trouble and going down is that They've lost Harry Wilson, their best player from last season. He got a hell of a lot of goals, loads of assists. Harry Wilson gone on a free transfer to Leeds United. A fantastic free signing. I would have even had Harry Wilson back at Liverpool as a backup squad player. So that's a second reason. Third reason, lost a major component in Issa Diop. He's gone from Fulham to, where's he gone? Sunderland, is it? He's gone to? Or has he gone to? No, he's gone to one of the, no, Issa Diop has gone to Ipswich. So that's another player they've lost. And the fourth reason is, they've lost Raul Jimenez, their main striker, to Wolves. Duckington. Wolves. I've got Raul Jimenez, who had a decent World Cup. So Fulham, another reason, 4. And the fifth reason for Fulham is the manager they've got in to replace Marco Silva is Arbeloa. Basically, Real Madrid standing manager and Real Madrid B coach. 5 reasons. Lost Harry Wilson. Lost Marco Silva, the manager. Lost Raul Jimenez. Lost Issa Diop to Ipswich. And brought in Arbeloa, who's barely a manager. With no Prem experience. No, he obviously played in the Premier League. Arbeloa for Liverpool. If you know, you know. So what do we think about Fulham? I think they could be bang in trouble. Right, let's read some of these. Duxton, last bit said, oh no, I read that bit. Greatest ever at cheating. Arthur reckons 8th for Fulham. Clearly, surely not. Fulham fans are... Duxton says, cheese boards away. Ole, ole. Terrible take. So Arthur, I outlined those 5 reasons and you think that's a terrible take. Wow. I'm quite surprised you think that way. Well, tell me what you think's going to happen with Fulham this season. 8th in the league. Come on. Big John says, I didn't know Steven Gerrard scored a goal in on his first game for Liverpool at 17. Did he now? I can't even remember that. I know Michael Owen did. You sure it's not Michael Owen? Michael Owen scored a goal on his debut against Wimbledon. I watched that match live. I'm not sure Gerrard did though, bro. He might have done. Someone's walked past the house smoking that wacky backy. How do I know what wacky backy smells like? Because I know these things. I'm a professional. Duckington says, the newly promoted sides don't have quality. Well, this is it, Duckington. Teams like Hull, well, Ipswich have spent a lot of money. I think they've done some all right recruitment, to be fair, Ipswich. But Hull, you'd imagine their struggle. Ipswich might be okay. And Coventry did very well under big Frank Lampard. Doug said, Big John said it was Stephen. Fair enough, my man. I'll have to look into that. I did not know that, my brother. Duxton says, straight back down so Fulham are safe. Well, that's the point. That's what my friend did say. He did say he thinks Fulham could be 17th, the worst of the rest. But ultimately, Duckington, if one of them teams has a bit of a stellar performance, you never know. Coventry City could do all right under big Frank Lampard. All of a sudden, could they be the team that outdo Fulham? But what do we think? Do we think, irrespective of the promoted sides, do we think that Fulham will be the worst of the other 17 teams? Outlining those things. Arbeloa taken over from Silva. Harry Wilson, one of the best right wingers in the Prem last season. Issa Diop, good centre-back. And of course, Raul Jimenez, their main striker. So what are we saying? Who's going to fire the goals to keep them up? So I think they could be in trouble, to be fair. I think it's a good take. Arthur says he's revised it from 8th to 13th. I hear that, Arthur. Fair enough, mate. Duckington says, I do hope Hull go down as it's the best away day in the EFL. Duckington, you selfish man. Big John said, Everton will be on the bottom this season. Mate, I'm here for it. Even though, I won't, Mr. Derby. I won't. Because those tryhards, those toffees, they only turn up when they play Liverpool. Anyone else, they roll over. Like a big, fat, greedy cat that's eating his dinner on the mat. There you go. I can rap. Right, anyway. Duxton says, if you know, you know. I hear you, my bro. Thomas says, no one cares about Fulham. Ooh. Thomas coming in with that rivalry. To be fair, they are not the most supported club in the world. They're not, to be fair, are Fulham that relevant in the Premier League in 2026? Look, it's a nice little club and whatnot, but it feels like they're always punching above their weight. It feels like they kind of belong in the, without putting them down, in the Championship / League One. They're kind of never big enough to kind of really push on, but they are in London, so there is that London aspect to it. But Duckton says Fulham are irrelevant. Well, this is what I was kind of trying to say without being as rude as you, mate. Because, hey, I might want to try and get some Fulham subscribers on the channel. So let's kind of keep it moving in a more friendly way. Fulham could be irrelevant, to be fair. Right. Arthur says Chelsea equal Fulham. Arthur, you are a troll. Chelsea overshadowed them. Oh, yeah, that is a big point. That is a big point. But in saying that, if Fulham are irrelevant, then what are Brentford? It's all the same part of the world. West London, QPR. They all get dominated by the Blues, to be fair. You've got 4 teams in that area, and they all kind of swap places in the Premier League over the last basically 20 years. It's just a continual back and forth. But yeah, so anybody else got any takes on Fulham? I might put a poll up in the chat regarding it. We shall see. We shall see. The cops are coming. Looking for Arthur. Right. Right, let's get back to that. Right, lost my train of thought. Pathetic host. Right, where are we? Here we are. Right. Duckton says, Chelsea almost went bankrupt in the 70s, so you never know. That is a very good point. Thomas says, Fulham are the S word. No swearing on this channel, Thomas. No swearing, young man. Duckton says, it could have been different. Yeah, if they'd have gone out of business, 100%. Arthur says, if they're looking for me, they need to be in Surrey, not Central London. But I'm not in Central London, Arthur. How about that? Right. Big John says, Ipswich will be in the middle this season. You think so, Big John? You think they could climb that high? I'm not sure. I think they'll be lower down the league, mate. Thomas, I'm only joking, my man. But yeah, I mean, look, people feel free to type whatever you want, Thomas. Obviously, nothing too bad. I just wouldn't read out the swear words because it's not good. And to be fair, Thomas, when I was young, my mum would give me a slap if she ever caught me doing the bad words. But yeah, there you go. I'm quite a stickler like that, to be fair. But you do you, my brother. You do you, Thomas. Don't worry, my bro. Right. What was I going to say? Right. I'm going to put a poll in the question. Sending out love to Thomas. Don't worry about it, my bro. 100%. Right. Probably going to be an obvious answer, but let's do it anyway. Do you think there you go. The typing, the fingers are a blur. Just call me the Flash, Barry Allen. Let's go. Right. Poll question in the chat as we bring this topic to an end. Raymond, are you still there, my bro? We're talking at Newcastle chat. Do you think, the poll is, do you think Fulham could be relegated this season? Thomas says Fulham a poo team instead. Well said, Thomas. I'm not agreeing. I'm just saying, at least it was better manners. Well said there. Well said. Big John says, at least Ipswich are better than Norwich. That is true. That is true. Norwich, very underrated city. Lovely, lovely place. Thomas says, I think Fulham will go 18th. Wow. Fair enough. Fair enough, Thomas. Darkington says, they had Bradley from the Chase. Did they? Oh, I see. Yeah. That's right. As a youngster, right? As a trialist. Duckson's laughing. My family's from near there. What, Norwich? Fair enough. Arthur, I don't know if you've ever been to Norwich. What a beautiful city it is. Really, really nice. Natasha says, Bruno G to Arsenal. It's a done deal. Wow. What's everyone's thoughts of that? Oh, Ipswich, Arthur. I see. Arsenal. Natasha with the breaking news. Bruno G to Arsenal is a done deal. What does everyone think of that? Norwich is hard to get to for me, Duckton says. I hear that, my bro. Yeah, the train's not the greatest links there for you, my man. They are going down, Big John says. So you heard my take and the parts of it? Arthur says, no. Well, Arthur, he's your player now. Arthur, you're not going to get behind Bruno G. Are you not going to get behind Bruno G? Arthur, you got to support your players, man. Right. Everybody in the chat, get your vote in. Let's get the votes voting. And make sure you've all smashed that like button. Natasha, have you smashed that like button, you cheeky lady? Let me know. Arthur says, my family is from where the by-election is. I don't even know where that is, but fair enough. Thomas says, 90 million was accepted. Not good for Newcastle. The thing is, 90 million was accepted. Fair enough. Thank you, Natasha. The thing is, though, it probably is good for Newcastle, Thomas, because they get 90 million in. Of course, they lose a good player, but it can now buy someone a bit cheaper, a bit younger, someone with potential, and it can help them spend on other priorities. So it will help them get more. It will help them. They'll get them stronger in the future, Thomas. Bruno G will be useless for the Asna, says Duckington. I'm not sure. I think he's going to be a very good signing for them. A very good signing. I mean, look, they can't give Declan Rice a rest. Zubimendi's not up to it on the same level. But Bruno G, you can play Bruno G and you're not going to miss Declan Rice as much. So I think it's a fantastic signing. And honestly, I think that's a signing that can more or less cement next season's title for Arsenal. I'm serious. That is a phenomenal signing. Very, very good. Thomas says true to what I said. Arsenal still trying to get Vinny Jr. Yeah, that's a myth, Natasha. That's not happening. Why would Vinny go to the Asna? Says Duckton. No, he's just trying to play off Real Madrid to get a new contract. But if Arsenal want to step in and pay 150 million, fair enough. Right, let's get some votes. We've got a minute left. Do we think that Fulham could go down? Vote now, people. Thomas says they might get someone to replace Bruno G. Yeah, exactly. And save money and use that money to buy another player in another position, Thomas. There you go. He already made millions at Madrid, yes, but the thing is, though, Duckington, when people got millions, what do they want? Oh, another million. It's just the way it is. Not your boy, Ade, the veteran arcade soldier, though. Once I've made a couple of million, I'll be ducking at Duckington style. You know. See the little play on words there? Right. Let's close the chat. These footballers are so ungrateful, bruh, which is why we should never put them on a pedestal. They're just guys kicking a football around. We've all got superpowers. They're just good at football. Thomas says, I'm playing FC 26 at the same time as chatting and doing a wonderful job, Thomas. Top man. Right. Gary says, could do regarding Fulham. Right. Where's the poll? Where's the poll gone? What? Where's it gone? What? Oh, I'm baffled. The poll's just... Oh, it's there. Do you think Fulham could be relegated this season? Yes, 71%. And 29% says no. So, oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Yes, oh, thank you, my man. Yeah, it took ages to come up on my screen. I don't know why. But brilliant. So, okay, so people think. So maybe my facts have kind of persuaded you a little bit, maybe. Oh, interesting. Right. I did have an idea for a topic, but it's gone out of my mind now. So does anyone have a topic, or would they like me to drop another one? Let me know. Anyone got... Actually, let me throw it open to the chat. Has anyone got a topic? Please let me know. I am here for it. Anybody else got a topic? Go. Thomas said they definitely will. Natasha says all the Newcastle players are leaving. Why? Probably because they feel they can't win, Natasha. Isak last summer. Bruno G now. Tonali to Spurs. Howe being linked with Man United. Livramento always being linked with Man City. Who else has gone? Anthony Gordon to Barcelona. Another one as well. Anthony Gordon deal 70 million to Barcelona. Does that look cheap? Seriously, what's going on now? Does Anthony Gordon to Barcelona look cheap? I think it does. Thomas says, FIFA 27, please. We can't do that, my bro, because there's not enough people playing it, my bro. Not enough people in the stream are going to be interested in that one, I'm afraid, Thomas. But please feel free to think of another subject and we will cover it. Duxton says, everyone should support an Irish team in the off-seasons. It's Galway for me. Fair enough, my bro. Fair enough. Is it still the Electricity League or whatever it's called? SSL. Big John says, how long do you think the head of the FIFA... How long do you think until the head of FIFA will resign? Big John, the way these politicians, and literally that's what he is, squirm out of things, I don't even know if he'll even resign. Probably get a promotion and go somewhere else. That's really the truth of it. Raymond says, hi, do you think Newcastle will beat Liverpool in the Premier League? Who will be the Premier League in August with Jassel? This from Ray. Personally, I think it's going to be a good time for Liverpool to play Newcastle when we face off. I think we're going to beat you at St James's Park like we did last season. I think Newcastle will get stronger during the season. Raymond, I think Newcastle will get stronger during the season. But at the beginning, I think they're going to be fairly weak. So I think they're in a bit of trouble, Raymond. But it depends what the expectations are for Newcastle. Newcastle aren't going to win the league. They're probably not even going to challenge for... They might just about challenge for a European place. But if they finish mid-table with what's going on, losing all those players, Raymond, look, they've lost the best midfield in the league. Tonali, Guimaraes and Joe Linton. 2 of those are gone. They're in a bit of trouble, mate. So I think Liverpool will beat them on the opening day of the season. Thomas says, Lacroix. What about him, Thomas? Arthur says, it's stupid, the voting system for the FIFA head. I hear that, my bro. Duxton says, 2030 World Cup of Argentina versus Morocco. So, yeah. So, anyway, the next World Cup is in Morocco, Portugal and Spain. Right. We need another topic, guys. Does anyone have a topic? Or I will choose another one. Raymond says, hi. Would Newcastle United be a relegation in a battle in the Premier League? No, Raymond. They won't be in a relegation battle. They're too strong for that. But they could be... They could be in and around, 13th, struggling at one point, Raymond. But I don't think they'll get relegated. There's always going to be 3 worse teams than Newcastle. Duxton says UEFA boycott is justified. 100%. Very, very true. Does anyone have another topic? I'm about to type it out. Let me know. Let me know. All right, I've got one. And this is for everybody. Duckington, you greedy man. You've had a topic already. Right, let me see. But you can have one next if we don't have. We'll probably do 9 topics. Natasha, good one. Let's go with that. Let me just read out the comments. Duxton says 1996 Oasis Main Road, night 2. Boom. Natasha said, let's go with Natasha's one. Who wins the league? But Natasha, you've got to confirm. Have you smashed the like button? You need to tell me. And everyone else needs to do so too. Anyone else in the background wants to have a chat? Please introduce yourself. My name is Ade, the veteran arcade soldier. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Right. Now let's have a proper one now. No silliness. No just being biased about your club. Right. Let me read it out and then I'm going to start the timer. Right. Raymond says, hi, would Newcastle win the Premier League? This from Ray. No, Raymond. Well, we're doing this topic now on that. Will Newcastle win the league? I don't think so. Not this season. Anyway. Villa going to struggle this season. Sold all the good players. We will drop to the middle. I hear what you're saying, Big John. I don't think they'll drop that far. I think Aston Villa, with a few more signings, can definitely be contenders for 6th to 8th still. Ronaldo is a good topic. He gets enough airtime, Thomas. Duxton says, it was a joke topic. Man United, trust me. They are back on the rise. Who gets relegated, Natasha? Well, Natasha, we're doing your one here. Natasha, I'm going to start the clock. Right. Let me introduce it. And we shall start. Right. The topic is by Natasha. Natasha says, who wins the league? So let's introduce it. We know who the Premier League champions are and the runners and riders. Now let's have it right. Let's all just remember something before I go back to the comments. In the Premier League era, there have only been 6 different winners. So let's go through those. Man United, of course, have won the most. Man City, the second most. Arsenal, the third most. Or no, Chelsea may be the third most. Arsenal, the 4th most. Leicester, Blackburn, and Liverpool, sorry. So, 7 teams have won the Premier League in the last 34 years. Only 7 teams. Now, we can count out Blackburn because they're not in the league. Leicester are not in the league. So, at least 5. Now, the chances are the winner will come from those 5 because history shows you that those 5 teams are the ones that are likely to win the league. Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea or Liverpool. So realistically, that's going to be the team with one of the winners. Unless we think there's going to be a new winner. So let's go through some of the chat. Who do we think is going to win the league, guys? Put in your messages. Let's go. Natasha says, who gets relegated? That's a very good one, Thomas says. Ronaldo's overrated. Veteran, who are you tipping to win the league? Natasha, sadly, even though I think it's going to be a very open title race, as it stands, Natasha, as of this day, without any more signings, easiest answer is Arsenal. They've got a manager that can win it. One of the better managers in the league. The manager that has won it. The only manager of the top 5 or 6 clubs that have got the same manager. So they've got stability. They've hardly lost anyone apart from Trossard. They're bringing Zolis, the Greek winger, who's a very good player and has a high amount of output. So I think it's quite an easy shout that it's likely to be Arsenal. The only thing that goes against Arsenal is the fact that they are the Premier League champions and have they lost a bit of hunger. They've got the deepest squad. I don't really rate their attack, but they already won the league with that attack. So why can't they win it again with that attack? So Arsenal is my choice, Natasha, for the league, sadly. I want to say Liverpool, but I'm not going to lie, it's Arsenal. So that's me. How about you, Natasha? What do you think? Big John says Everton. He's trolling. Raymond says, who gets relegated? Well, I think the 3 teams that come up are likely to go back down, in my opinion. Maybe Fulham sneak in. But I think Arsenal win the title. Thomas says, Man City. Fair enough, Thomas. Duxton says, in the EPL, what's that, my bro? Duxton, what you saying? I've lost train of thought. Arsenal invincible, though. Gold trophy. Not this season, but they could win the league. Natasha said Liverpool. I hope so, Natasha. I hope so. Let's see who we get signed in. Barcola and a few more. We definitely have a chance, Natasha. I do believe we have a chance. As it stands, though, Natasha, we have no chance right now because we haven't got the players in. But with 3 or 4 more signings, we can win the league, Natasha. Everton, Big John says, trolling. Raymond says, hi. Who in the league right now? What are you saying there, Raymond? Who the league is Newcastle right now from Ray? I think Newcastle will be lucky to finish 12th, 10th, 12th. Raymond, what did they finish last year, Raymond? 13th, 15th? Something like 13th or something like that. Doug says, what the F was that? I hear a train horn thing. Was that just me? Probably just you, my bro. You haven't got the horn. What? Hey, what? Retract that from the record. Thomas says, I think Man City or Chelsea. Fair enough, Thomas. I've already said to you, Thomas, that I think Chelsea are dark horses. Duxton says, am I going insane? I don't know. But to be honest with you, we had a mad situation on the channel the other day with sound. But I can't hear back the feedback because obviously I'm just listening to my own voice. Yeah. Big John says, top 2, Liverpool, Man U, City this season. Fair enough. Big John, I hope you're correct, my brother. Raymond says, hi, Newcastle United will win the Premier League. Raymond, do you believe that? Do you really believe that? I disagree, but good luck to you, my brother. Good luck to you. Douglas said, a horn as in from a train. What? I hear you, my bro. I didn't hear anything. Did anybody else hear anything? Or is Ducky going insane? Ducky. Arthur, what about you, my man? Are you voting? Gary says Arsenal to win the league. Fair enough. Anyone else? Fair enough. Anyone else? Thoughts on winning the league? What does Arthur say? Arthur says Man City. Wow, I am surprised. So Arthur, you don't think Arsenal's going to win the league? I'm amazed. Let's get back to the messages. Thomas says, but I mostly think Man City first, Arsenal second, Liverpool third. Thomas, Naughty, naughty. I hear you, my bro. You're welcome, though. Natasha says, top 2, Liverpool and Chelsea. Dark horses. Personally, as it stands, I think Chelsea have the 3rd best squad as it stands at the moment. But let's see. Cameron, welcome. Hey, welcome to the chat, Cam. I don't know if I've seen you earlier today, but hopefully you're well. Thomas says 3rd, as in Chelsea. Fair enough. Duxton said it's too early to tell. It is too early to... Exactly. Transfers haven't been done. This is why I'm saying at the state of play. As it stands now, Arsenal have lost only Trossard, and they've already brought in a winger who's younger and probably potentially better. So, yeah. Raymond says, hi, Eddie Howe has gone and Jassy in Newcastle United will win the league. Raymond, being very optimistic. Back in your club, fair play, my brother. Doug says, yet time has no relevance. Isn't that such an odd thing? No, I hear you, my bro. It is too early to tell. I like you're saying. You're being very poetic today, my brother. Arthur says, Arsenal will focus on the Champions League. I see the hot take there. I see the hot take. So, the truth of the matter is, most people think the winner will come from one of those 5 clubs. So, do we believe that anyone other than the big 5, and I don't believe in a big 6 because I don't put Spurs in a big 6 because they're not big like that. So, does anybody believe that anybody outside the top 5 could win the league? Spurs as a dark horse, for example. Aston Villa, Big John? You already don't think so. Does anyone think anyone outside of Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, City or Chelsea can win the league? Does anyone think it's possible? PTSD, Gabriel Penny, Duckett and says, topic for you, veteran, which manager will be sacked first? That's a really good topic. Right, I like that one, Natasha. We're going to go for it. I usually don't let people dominate the topics, but Natasha, I like that one. Very good. Right, let me put one in the chat, a poll. Let's do that one and then we'll round it off. Can anyone other than... Right, so I think most of us have an opinion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So I've put that in the chat. Let's round it off and then we'll go on to Natasha one because I think it's very good. Well done, Natasha. Everyone, smash that like button. Who's Sergei Yogovich? Right. Iriola or whatever his name is, Duckton says. Topic, which manager be sacked first? Wow, that's a bit brutal. Right. Right, does anyone think that anyone other, so it's other than Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea or Man City can win the league? So somebody different. So if you think yes, put yes. But if you don't think anyone else, if you think the winner will come from one of those 5 teams, then obviously the answer is no. Now, I don't believe there will be another team outside that top, outside those 5 will win the league. In my opinion, I just don't think it's possible. I think they're all too strong. So I will vote with a big fat juicy 9. A little German there for you, 9. Thomas says, all right. Oh, whoa. Hold fire. Natasha started the new topic, but we haven't even changed the timer. So give me a sec. Right, let's pause that one. Reset. Let me change the topic. And give me a chance to read it out, guys. Wow, you lot are in the Wild West. Don't even let the host. Absolutely crazy. Right. Who is the first manager to be sacked? Right. Right. I'm starting the timer. Go. Right, let's read out some of the... So the next topic number 9, 15 minutes. And just to let you know, this is likely to be the last topic. We can stick around and chat a bit longer, but this is the final topic of the evening. Right, let's read out the stuff. Big John says Villa will struggle, and I understand what you're saying there. Obviously, they've lost a lot of good players, Morgan Rogers and obviously Tielemans, but you bring in a few youngsters, so let's see how it goes. Obviously, the big blow is Amadou Onana getting injured. Right, Thomas says, Man City has brought Elliot Anderson, will do fantastic this season. Thomas, exactly, very true. But will they be punished, unlike Chelsea, with the 115 charges? That might stop them winning the league. Thomas, think about that. Sergej Jogovic, who's he, Arthur? Please let me know. Raymond says, topic, which manager will be sacked first? Arthur is saying Sergej Jogovic, but I don't know who he manages. Is he the new manager of... I don't know. Let's see. Duckerton says Iraola, or whatever his name is. First manager to get sacked at Liverpool. Behave yourself. Red card for you. Where's the red card emoji? For Duckington. Absolute scallywag. Right. So no. Hull boss, Arthur says. Oh, I see. The Hull boss to go first. Yeah, Arthur, give him a red card. Thanks, bro. Thomas says Crystal Palace or the Brentford boss. Nah, definitely not the Brentford boss. Palace manager, I can't remember his name. I think he came over from League... Buadi to City, done deal earlier today. Didn't know that, Natasha. Thank you. Breaking news. Big John says Everton manager sacked first. I don't think so personally. They're not going to get rid of David Moyes. He won't go that first. But you never know. You could be right. Thomas says, I think they won't. Arthur with the red card. Everton manager be sacked first. Raymond agrees with you though, Big John. Fair enough. Fair enough. Natasha says Carrick at Man United. Wow, fair enough. I don't think he will be Carrick, but it's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. Right, let me close off the poll there actually, and then let's come back to my thoughts on the manager, because everybody wants to hear my opinion, obviously. Listen to me, guys. Host of the show. Only joking. Right. Everton manager could be sacked first, says Raymond. Waiting for the poll results. Where's the poll results? Right. The poll results for the previous one was, can anyone other than Arsenal or City, can anyone other than Liverpool, Arsenal, City, United or Chelsea win the league? The answer was no. And yes, 18%. So obviously, you know, it's weighted against one of those teams. Natasha thinks Carrick. Everton thinks, Raymond thinks David Moyes could be sacked first. Big John said David tracked record for sackings. Fair enough. Fair enough. David Moyes. Yeah, he does get sacked. He always gets sacked, to be fair. I think, going back to the Fulham thing, I think Arbeloa, coming in from La Liga, Arbeloa has had one proper job, which was Real Madrid. Other than that, it was Real Madrid B that he was the manager of. He's managed Real Madrid for 6-7 months. He's been sacked from that. Now he's coming into the Premier League, the hardest league in the world, taking on Fulham with all of those things that I said that are going wrong at Fulham. They lost their manager. Arbeloa's come in with little experience. They've lost Wilson. They've lost Jimenez. They've lost Diop. I think it's looking sticky for Arbeloa. So, yeah, I think it could be Arbeloa at Fulham, and then they bring in a manager to save them. So I think that's what might be happening. Arbeloa at Fulham. That is my shout. Question, veteran, how do you think Spurs will manage this season? I'll answer you in 2 seconds, guys. Everyone else, keep getting your stuff and your takes on the manager. Now, Natasha, I think Spurs, I don't think the signings are as great as people think. I think it's 50-50 on the signings, Natasha. I think the midfielders they brought in are brilliant. Mateus Fernandes and Tonali. I'll take both of them at Liverpool, 100%. But I think the centre-backs they brought in are not as good as the ones they have already. Now, Romero's going to leave. Best centre-back they got. Van der Ven, a little bit overrated. But he's still better than Van Hecke and Senesi. Van Hecke and Senesi are brilliant on the ball, but they're not great defensively going backwards. Defending is the art of the game. And they brought in Andy Robertson, and I love Andy Robbo. Absolutely love him to bits. One of my favourite ever players. Absolute legend, Andy Robertson. But, as you know, Natasha, he was on the decline. And in a back line at Spurs, I think they could be in trouble. If their back line is, I don't know who their players right back, Jed Spence at the moment, but if they're playing left back Robertson, Senesi, Van Hecke, as their first choice defence with a keeper like Kinski, they could be in trouble. So, Natasha, not trouble like relegation trouble, Natasha. I think Tottenham will struggle to finish top 10. I honestly believe that. I think Spurs are looking at between 8th and 10th. Another reason, Natasha, as well, is that I don't think their attack's very good. Kulusevski, great player, but injured all the time. Maddison, injury prone. He'll go down for half the season, guarantee it. Because he always does. And their attack is woeful. Richarlison gets you goals, but is a bang average player. Does get some goals, but bang average player. And up top, 65-minute for Solanke. Not good enough. So that's my reasons. Not good enough up top, not good enough at the back. But don't get me wrong, Natasha, they have a fantastic midfield. But that's not going to be enough. Spurs will finish between 8th, 9th or 10th. Kaylee Dixon says, nope, did not hear a horn from a train. Thank you, Kaylee Dixon. Love to you, my beautiful cuz. So yeah, there you go, Duckington. You're not going mad. And Kaylee confirms my streaming setup is magnifique. The only horn is that background of that blasted picture in the background. That's my son. It's not devil worshipping, by the way. It's just a picture from, what's it called? The Japanese culture, actually, about the demise of a fallen angel. So yeah, well, I guess it's a devil, but you get my point. It's not devil worshipping. Anyway, that picture's going to go soon because I'm changing my theme. But there you go. Right, Thomas says, I sort of agree with you, Ade. Thank you, Thomas. On the Spurs thing, thank you, my bro. Stick with your boy Ade, the veteran RK soldier, talking nothing but football sense, even though Arthur thinks I have no ball knowledge. Right. Natasha says, Romero to Liverpool. I would take him, Natasha, all day long. But is that a link or just what you want, Natasha? Let me know. Thomas says, okay, I guess. Top man. Natasha says, where is your son? That son that I'm talking about, he's gone to work. He's doing the night shift this evening. He's 21, but he's working hard. Making that dollar, making that bread so he can support himself and his pops as well. You know, because I raised him, right? Anyway, moving on. Thomas says, I will join your live stream tomorrow at Jessica's house. Brilliant, Thomas. Can't wait to see you, my brother. Arthur, you're a prat. I'm not reading that. I definitely do not. Strike that from the record, sir. Natasha says, oh, I meant your younger son. Oh, thank you. My younger son, 17. He's gone to a party this evening, Natasha. He's been flexing. He also has a part-time job because I make sure he works and I make sure he's going in the right direction in life. I don't want my children being bums and layabouts. I'm not about that life. So I've got him a job and he's working away fine. But he's saved up his money. He's bought some fancy new gear and he's off out to a party. And he thinks he's the self-proclaimed best-looking dude in the world, my young son. And he thinks he's about to go and check every lady under the sun. So that's where he is, Natasha. He's off to a party, and I'm wishing him safe, and I want to know that he gets home safely. Big John says, Ade, you going to buy a green screen? Lovely thought. Funny enough, Big John, I've been thinking about it. And I'm looking into it at the moment. So I'm going to do that because I'd like to get a nice few themes in the background. Have a nice theme for like a Liverpool themed background. But when I'm doing other stuff non-Liverpool, have something else. You know, having bits of the European Cup. You know, the European Cup that your club has won, Big John. But Arsenal's club, Arthur, has not. So yeah, a green screen, or I might start off with a blank wall at the moment. We shall see. The channel's at early stages and it's got to be self-sufficient. Thomas says, for the Chelsea match and the Man United match as well. Sorry, you was continuing your message. Thank you, Thomas. You're joining me for all 3 live streams. You absolute hero. Can't wait to have you, my bro. Arthur says, oh, be careful, Ade. I will be careful, my bro. But Arthur, remember, Arsenal's never won anything that Liverpool haven't. And we've won everything you've won, but more. Oh, apart from the FA Cup. I'll give you that one. Right, anyway. Is he a ladies' man, Natasha says. Natasha, do bears poo in the wood? There's your answer. Do bears poo in the wood is the answer. Is my son a ladies' man? Right. Raymond says, Newcastle United versus Newcastle. What? Raymond, Newcastle playing Newcastle. What? With Jasper, I'm going to watch the Newcastle. Right, so Newcastle versus Liverpool. You're going to watch this game? That's it, Raymond. Oh, you're just... I know what you meant. The Newcastle-Liverpool game. You're going to watch it with me, my brother. Respect. I'll see you there, my bro. Let's go. Right. Who is the first manager to be sacked? Is anyone else thinking of anyone else that could get sacked? Please let me know. Please let me know. Not for the Arsenal match because I'm at bingo. Thomas living his best life. I hear that, my man. No problem, my bro. No problem. Join me for the Man United game. Bingo. Such a great hobby. Great fun. Hi, Newcastle United versus Liverpool. Which game are you going to watch? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Nah, Big John. Less of that talk, my bro. Granddaddy Ade. I am not ready for that yet, my bro. Get that out of here. That needs the ESAC, bro. That needs the ESAC treatment. Get that out of here. But obviously, it will come at some point. Hopefully, it comes at some point, but only when my children are in a good spot in life. And they've met the right lady. And in case any of my sons are watching, which I know they're not, the right lady is not your mother, or like your mother, should I say. Obviously, not their mother, because that would be weird. But it's definitely not like their mother. But to be fair, their mum, she's a good woman. She would say the same. But yeah, she is a pain. She is a pain. She is a pain. Anyway, moving on. Right, Thomas says, and for my team as well. That's it, bro. You're going to be there for the Chelsea game and the Man United game, my bro. Look forward to having you. But yeah, less of that pregnancy vibe. We're not having that. No chance. No. Right. So, first manager to be sacked. Thank you for that topic, Natasha. It's a good one. Very, very good. Yeah, we don't need a poll on that one. But yeah, anybody else want to say anything else regarding the manager situation? Please let me know. Thomas says, I'm playing Fortnite now, so I need to concentrate now. Go for it, my bro. You lock in. Arthur says, you want me to tell your ex about the channel? She knows about the channel. To be fair, she knows Arthur. So nice try. Nice try. But yes. So yeah, really good topic there, Natasha. Lovely stuff. Let me ask you a question, guys. All things considered. Is this a nice format? Do you guys enjoy this? Is there something we could do with this as well? Please let me know. Some way we could improve it. Is the topic layout good? Do you think it should be more topics that I hand over to you guys? Or are you okay with when I hand out the topics as well? Because I do a bit of research and try to make them interesting as well. Please let me know what you think. Arthur says she might be watching. She might be watching. And if you are watching Ade's ex, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. That's the least you can do for me, for causing me pure headache down the years. How about that? Seriously, how about that? Right, anyway. Natasha says, yes, defo. Thank you, Natasha. Raymond says, topic, which manager Topic, which manager joined Newcastle United in the Premier League? Well, we know it's your new manager, Raymond. So what's his name, first name? Jazel. Big John says, loving his channel, Ade. Top bloke. Thank you, my brother. Just like you're a top bloke. And you stay safe out there in those Thetford woods, my bro. And that's the thing. I did some camping last summer. And I'll tell you what, John, it does get kind of scoopy, you know. It does get kind of spooky in the late night hours. But yeah, I have talked and my throat is burning. Cannot lie. Let's get those cartoon sound effects in. But yes, I can't lie. Thank you for the compliment. Big John says, Ade, top bloke. To be fair, I'm a very nice guy. I must admit. Top boy. If I do say so myself. But yeah, the green screen may be coming, John. Or maybe I just do. Yeah, I might have to do the plain wall for the time being. We shall see. Big John says, about an hour ago, a deer walked past. Wowzers. Fair enough. Be careful, my bro. Did it have antlers? We don't want to be here about a Big John nugget becoming a nugget on a stick of a deer. I didn't quite work. I've usually got quite good speech from me, but yeah, that was waffle. That was some top draw waffle. Right. The timer is done. We're going to close that. Right. Where is it? Stop that. So yeah, that topic is done. All good. Right. on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stick around for 5 more minutes because literally I'm talked out and I've got to save myself for the live stream watch along tomorrow. I'm doing 3 of them, as Thomas has mentioned a couple of times. I'm doing Spurs versus Chelsea in the morning from Down Under. Then at lunchtime, we're doing big, bad Man United, the Red Devils, versus Atletico Madrid, Cholo Simeone's Atletico Madrid. That's going to be a banger game. And in the evening, it's the Premier League champions back in action versus Girona. So Arsenal taking on Girona. So yeah, 3 big watch-alongs tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be a full-on day. Lots of talking, lots of football action, and loads of stuff. So hopefully some of you guys who are absolutely amazing will hopefully be around for the watch-alongs tomorrow. Or some of them, or maybe one of them at least. I hope. But if not, have yourself a wonderful day, whatever you're getting up to, of course. But does anyone want to share anything in the chat? A few more bits of topic before I leave you for the evening. Because believe it or not, we've been going for 2 hours 40 and I've been waffling on non-stop. And the voice is going. But yes, all good, all good. Please let me know. Arthur, Thomas said, oh no, that's an older message. Big John says, I'll make sure a solar charger on for tomorrow. Top man, top man. Respect, my bro. And hopefully we can keep each other company tomorrow, my brother. All good, all good. Cameron says, great show, mate. Excellent. Raymond says, hi, topic. Which manager will join Newcastle United in the Premier League? Well, we know your new manager, Raymond. We know your new manager is Giselle, who's come over from Al Ali. So we know who that is, my bro. Unless, mate, I know obviously English isn't your first language, but maybe something's been a bit lost in translation, not transaction. But Raymond, we're not doing any more topics today, my bro, because yeah, the show is done now and I'm talked out. But Raymond, thank you for joining me, my bro. Raymond, my African brother from Slavonga in Zambia, absolute hero. But hopefully you all have a lovely rest of your evening. Arthur says, I'll see you next morning. Talk show always excellent. Arthur. Well, if it get the thumbs up from Arthur, then it's got to be thumbs up. It's been absolutely incredible. Raymond says, great show, mate. Thank you, Raymond. Much appreciated, my bro. Thank you, everyone that joined me. So on that note, we covered 9 topics. If anybody wants to see this back or does see this back, there will be timestamps put on the video so you can click to each section to see the things you want to see or hear about. Or in Arthur's case, probably try and find some evidence on me to try and put me away. But yeah, there you go. But have a blessed night, everyone. Good night, says Big John. Listen, everyone, good night. Before you go, please do slap that like button if you haven't. Maybe forward it on to some friends. Spread the word of the channel. It all helps to grow a better community and make it more fun and exciting for everybody. But on that note, my name is Ade, the veteran arcade soldier. Thank you for everyone that joined me. The Dixon family, 7, 8, 9 of them, and their boyfriends, etc. joining in. Young Harley, Liverpool fan. Brilliant to have you on the channel. So nice to see them in the background. Absolutely warmed my heart. Channel veterans like Natasha, one of the ones from the beginning. Arthur, the main man himself, the legend. Raymond over there from Slavonga, Zambia. Big John, Villa fan. So many people. Cameron, Gary. Camille came in earlier, getting late. Duckington, of course. FCB. Anyone else that I missed along the way. You know I've got nothing but love for you. Thank you so much. Obviously, I mentioned Natasha as well. Jessica. And of course, Thomas as well. The main man who's now locking in at Fortnite. But on that note, that's your boy Ade, the veteran arcade soldier. I'm signing off. Like I said, if anybody sees this back later on as a vlog, then please do drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you're loving the positive vibes. On my channel, I play modern day video games, retro classics, and of course, Street Fighter 6, where I am, of course, a master level fighter. Of course, I play at the top tier level, because you know how I do. Always putting myself to the top, the maximum effort. Right, honestly, the waffle has to stop. And on that note, Arthur has just let me know, 260 subscribers, absolutely amazing. The channel keeps going from strength to strength, and I'll be back tomorrow morning for the first of 3 live stream watch-alongs, starting with Chelsea and Spurs in the Sydney Cup. On that note, hopefully I see some of you tomorrow, but if not, enjoy the rest of a fabulous weekend. On that note, it's your boy Ade, the veteran arcade soldier, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Cheers, Arthur. Have a good night. He's got me there before I go. You said you were doing a giveaway. I did, and you did pull me up and say that I probably was going to tell a Porky, but I haven't got around to it, but I'll do my best. I might have to combine it with something else, but there will definitely be something coming for the loyal people, 100%. So let me think on how I can do it, Arthur, and I will get it done, I promise. I'm going to make a note of it right now. Trust you to catch me out. On that note, I'm getting out of here sharpish. Good night, everyone. Take care. Even you, Arthur. See you later.